Perfect. Anyways, we are watching the rematch, and I wanted to do this. All right, I'm gonna level with you guys. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this is like, all right, I wanted to see how the teams differed, what if they actually played differently, or what happened, and they do. The other one the other point is we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it pretty quick, but I'm really psyched about it. So let's do this. Let's do this. We're sitting here. We're waiting. We're starting. Oh. Ooh, I do get it. Also, oh, this is the best part of the Korean. Oh, Korean fangirls. And then there's the one Korean fan guy. We're gonna watch the Korean cast just because I like them so much more. I honestly, I don't get much from the English casters. And, to be honest, the Korean casters do sweet-ass sound effects that I absolutely love. So, in fact, if I ever get super popular, guys, if I ever get super popular, what I want to do is I want to meet the man that makes all these sound effects, and I want to give him a hug. So if you guys could ever promote me to the point where I'm with the Korean casters at some point in time, I would gladly hug this man. Because, he's fucking awesome. Oh, I'll do the reveal tomorrow. So straight away, it's a King of the Hill, so I like to look at what each team's running. Kongdoo is going heavy dive, which they always love. Well, LuxuryWatch is doing 3-2-1 with a Genji as the 1. Yeah. The Genji, the Diva, the Tracer, they're definitely a heavy dive comp. And we're just gonna see how this plays out. I mean, both comps can work. We're gonna find out if it works. Let me just check my sound settings. Okay, good. We're good. So let's see this. And I find it interesting that immediately one team takes the one flank, and the other team, they're going to take the high flank. And here we are. What did we say? They got a dive comp, and what are they doing? And not only are they diving with the Tracer was over here, they're diving with the Diva, but look how aggressive this Ana is. And they're going towards the back lines. But the back lines weren't there, were they? And we just see him kind of get... they take a lot of losses, right? DMEC and 2 deaths. They do get 2 on their side, but lose another. So what happens here? And this is just an over-aggressive move on Kongdoo's part. They dove so hard. I mean, this is pretty ridiculous how hard they dove, because they even dove with an Ana. And, oh, wrong Ana. An Ana. They overdove, and not only that, they dove against 3 tanks. Hold on, I can do... Yeah, pow, I can do squares now, people. They dove against 3 tanks. Most notably, Hog is really good at defending against the dive comp, because if he hooks one, the dive comp really falls apart if one person dies. Or 2. Like, once people start dying in a dive comp, their dive loses a lot of power, and usually the whole composition just starts crumbling. They also got a Zarya, which is incredibly good against a dive comp. It's one of the best things against it. Protecting someone for 2 seconds or 200 damage, it usually saves their lives and will cost the enemy one of the divers. And they also just... They overdove. I mean, the fucking Ana dove, guys. Like, that's like commit... That right here, look how... And this sucks. The Ana hit the Diva with the grenade instead of the enemy. But also, the supports were up here. Well, at least Ana was. The Ana was up here. And the Lucio was over here. So this whole dive to the back was kind of... They just dove tanks. Which is the best thing to dive. Between the tankiness of the tanks and their damage mitigation abilities, they easily win this confrontation. Oh, once that happens, they kind of do their cleanup. Lucio's trying his thing, but there's only so much you can do as a Lucio. And that hook. Yeah, that was a good hook. And then... yeah. So, big note about King of the Hill is that with them having the point now, and on the next point we'll really look at this, this really becomes attack versus defense. And because the spawn advantages are equal, taking back a point is I would say it's not extremely difficult, but it's a lot more difficult for the attacking team than the defensive one. So here it comes again, the dive. The dive happens, and Reinhardt, in all fairness, he actually doesn't do much against the dive, right? Because the dive goes past his shield, so you can't really use his shield. He can hit people around, but usually diving too far past them. This Reinhardt actually runs over a Genji and then pins the Zarya. See, there's the roadkill, and then right there's the pin against the Zarya. The Zarya will die very shortly. Or the Winston, sorry, not the Zarya, the Winston. Like I said, once the dive comp starts losing people, it breaks up. So right away, Kongdoo just runs, right? And the main reason you want to run when you die, when you lose a couple guys right away, is so you don't give the team too much ult percentage. So, reset. Even if that dive comp, here's the thing, even if that dive comp did work, they were still going up against a Roadhog that could hook them and a Zarya. The Reinhardt handled that single-handedly, and we'll see. Oh, was it just one change? Yeah, so Evermore, that was on, what was he on? The Diva, is now going to Roadhog, and the Winston is going to Reinhardt. So they're going to much more of a stable comp. And here's the thing, talking about this map is very closed in. When we talk about Roadhog helping against the dive comp, it doesn't work on some maps, but if a Roadhog's here, like, he can easily reach this flank and the far flank over here and cover most of mid. So you're like, oh, where do you dive if a Roadhog's in the middle here, right? He's going to be able to support his team wherever he's at, and same with Zarya. Tanks are really good at controlling small areas. I pressed refresh, didn't I? God damn it. Alright, so yeah, this is where we were. Yeah, so tanks are really good at controlling area. And if we think about the point like this, I can actually do circles now. Check this out. Pow! A bit too big for this one. There's that circle. Got the wall here, wall here, wall here. Oh, that's not the wall. When the Hog's here or the Zarya's here, like, they can easily control, like, this small area, right around them, and the team is going to be within this area because of how close it is. Tanks are incredibly strong on this map. It's not that the dive comp doesn't work, it's just the dive comp is difficult. The ease of execution falls upon the tank lineup rather than the dive. Because the dive comp seeks to create a numbers imbalance immediately, and because of the closeness and the size of the models, too, of the tanks, they can easily body block as well as use their damage mitigation skills, bubble, your own fat as Roadhog, and then Reinhardt shield to mitigate the dive comp. And they see this. Kongdoo switches up, Evermore goes on his signature Roadhog, and Winston goes to Reinhardt. They speed boost up to the high flank. And here's the thing. Alright, so we'll just watch this. So Genji gets charged in the back line. The ult's more or less nullified. But we notice that the back lines of LuxuryWatch have just been decimated. And so I don't know if it's because of a change-up that LuxuryWatch did not see. But this is advantage of running a couple flankers is we will see Genji and Tracer got the speed boost and already went this way. I believe the rest of the team stays mid. And as we look at this point, Genji goes in on the meat of the team. And so, essentially, both Genjis just dove each other's team. The difference being, this Genji gets Reinhardt smashed. And by the time this Genji gets back to mid, they get mapped up. So the Tracer took out the Roadhog with an ult. Genji took out the Lucio. And then the Genji himself dies too. This basically came down to they got rotated on. As the Genji, let me see this control. Pow pow. We're now looking at the point this way. Sorry, changing perspectives really quick. Health pack is up here, let's say. As the Genji dove in, both the Tracer and the Genji. Let me use a different color to signify the other team. Both the Genji and the Tracer came in on the back lines. Reinhardt handled this pretty nicely. And while everyone was kind of worried about this going on, the Tracer and the Genji, you'll see that Tracer and Genji, we'll start this. And the entire kill feed is Tracer, Genji, Tracer, Genji, Tracer. And we'll just give this one to Genji. Essentially, Tracer Genji killed everyone on the other team. They got flanked. And this works. There's a dual purpose to this entire thing. It's a circle. I gotta used to get my circles and squares. So as the Genji dove in, and we've noticed this with all the other reviews. When a Genji dives in with Nanoblade, or if anyone dives in, well, if Genji dives in normally with Nanoblade or just his normal ult, everyone backs away immediately. And this works to great success. Every time I've seen it done properly, it pretty much nullifies his ult. They kind of did this, but they pre-did it, right? The Tracer and the Genji flanking, as he dove in, these guys went in automatically. This essentially, they did that. I mean, they were flanking, so they were already not here. But this flank provided dual purpose of not being here and also attacking the back lines. It was really good on Kongdoo's part. And since they took the point when it was the most difficult time to take it, especially against an ult disadvantage, it was really... That was a very important deal. So... I'll just go back 5 seconds. I just want to make note of this. We can see the Roadhog. You can see the outline. Maybe you guys can't see it, but the Roadhog's just hiding in back. And this... I don't want to call it a bad move. So first of all, this happens. If I can stop it at the exact perfect spot. Right here. Roadhog does a secondary onto the bubble, which kills the bubble near instantly, and then he gets charged by Reinhardt. Pow, and he's gone. I don't know if that was planned, because that was like a split... I mean, that was like a half-second interval. Like 1 second, maybe, at best. But this calls for full disengagement, not only because they're down to Reinhardt, but because there's an Ana ult coming in, or an ulted Reinhardt with Nano Boost. Reinhardt aggressively uses Earth Shatter. Now, I mean, I try to give him the benefit of the doubt of what happens. Killing a couple more guys and leaving a couple of people on the ground does give them a chance to build ult. So if we look at Kongdoo, we'll see if they gain any ult. But here's the thing: this guy's at 96%, she's at 92%. Ana is just about to get percentage because her ult's wearing off, and then Reinhardt won't get any percent for hitting these people because there's like that 5-second delay once you ult that you won't gain charge for. See, he hit her, doesn't get any ult charge. So he gained 3. He bought Ana 15%. These guys were going to get ult. It seems quite aggressive for no reason. I don't know if I can agree with that one. So here's So the Hog, here's his outline again, and the reason why I keep pointing this out is that in the previous match, Kongdoo does a lot of sneaky shit, and it worked. They kind of get tricked. LuxuryWatch got tricked, and the thing with the trick is once you figure it out, it's not useful anymore. And this series as a whole, we're going to see tricks that don't work, and it's probably going to cost them the series, including this one coming up. Also, it should be noted, heavy alt percentage advantage over here. So here comes Hog. So his entire team gets not single, not double, but triple alted. Zarya alt into Reinhardt alt into Hog alt while Lucio boosted. Now, they almost survived some of this. So they survived the first main impact. The Reinhardt ult kind of does them in, and then Genji barely dies to the Roadhog ult at the end. Now, if Roadhog wasn't being sneaky and he was behind his team waiting for a hook, I think if any one of those ultimates, oh man, it's so, I don't want to say what ifs, but if one of those ults didn't land, it's possible that this would be a different outcome. Now, they're all, we say that in LuxuryWatch is 100% health across the board, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered. But still, I think sneaky plays don't work out sometimes. Well, they don't work out a lot of the time.
Aiming's overrated.
Now we'll see this flank. And this is the most interesting attack. So they axe the Hog right away, right? In return, Genji gets McCree, Zarya. And they kind of just leave Roadhog down there. They're just like, you know what? Go fuck yourself, Hog. So they take the point. Now let's actually look at that in a closer aspect. So they spread out. Kongdoo, they speed boost here. So they speed boost a Hog around this side. They have a Reinhardt here, and they have the rest of the team. I believe it's Lucio here and Ana here. All right, there's the Zarya, and Ana and McCree are here. So this is a rather wide flank, right? They're really dividing up their resources. As it goes, we see how things unfold. The Reinhardt has to save his McCree because he gets hooked, and the Zarya dives on top of that. Hog is still over here. Now Hog, as we'll see shortly, hooked the Zarya. So they get the counter Hog. Genji goes into the meat, gets two more. There's, oh no, we already missed the hook. We'll see this. I just want to show when the Zarya gets hooked off screen. Because it'll happen right here. There's the 30 health lost. There's the main shot. But Zarya, as you can see, doesn't stick to the Hog. She actually avoids him. She bubbles and then comes here. And she comes to the middle. With that, she's able to bubble the Genji right here. Because of that, like, ignoring the Hog was really important for her. It allowed the Genji to get a bubble, which we don't know if it saved him or not. It might have, you know, done that. The Reinhardt won a 1v1 with a charge. And by the time the Hog comes around on the flank, his team's dead. Well, most of his team's dead. McCree just respawned and Lucio's hiding in the corner somewhere. So this overflank, well, I think what happened is Evermore, he's really good, and he's really good in one-on-one situations. So I think he overflanks. He flanks a lot of the time, and he looks for these one-on-one situations where he can create a numbers disadvantage and then helps his team. The problem is that his flank, or the one guy who wanted the 1v1, just had nothing of it. She's just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to support my team. And she, I think she does. I think this actually maybe saves the Genji's life. And I mean, he's at 94 health. So if she saved 200 damage from him, yeah, I mean, that does save his life. I think he got knocked down in there from a charge or a hammer swing, but they just leave him down there. He's like, you know what, fuck it. Just don't care about that. But this goes back to my discussion of... Man, I keep forgetting. So Roadhog, they came this way, and then they pushed simultaneously through these, actually technically 4 paths. While LuxuryWatch, they kind of just, they had, this guy got a good hook, and that's why he got killed. The Zarya got hooked from the other Roadhog, but the rest of the team was in here. And this is what's cool is, remember how I always tell you guys, I'm like, listen, when anything's chaotic, when anything's like all shit's breaking loose, just pick a side and cleave to the center. And what does Genji do? He picks here. Not only does he have the most people on this side, but it's also the farthest right flank. They clean up stuff here, and then they come this way. So he actually kind of like, he doesn't know I said this. I mean, he's not doing what I say, but he's applying the combat technique that I tell all of you guys. Like, pick a side and just cleave to the center. It really does help. It removes a lot of variables, right? It removes all these variables over here, and the Zarya just didn't care about this. I shouldn't use an X. The Zarya didn't care about the Roadhog. Zarya came in, and what this let the Roadhog do, now the Roadhog has to travel back and start, you know, being effective again. And this whole time, this movement right here is, I don't want to say it's wasted, but more or less it's unneeded from the Hog. He spent 5 seconds probably just moving instead of fighting. So this is why flanking, while it is good, it does take time. Never forget that. Flanking costs time. So, oh, yeah, we don't have to listen to this. So this, oh guys, this is the reason why I wanted to do this review. Right here. It's time to ask the question, class. Time to ask the question. Kongdoo takes the high ground, LuxuryWatch takes the low ground. At this point, who has the advantage? Alright, class. Who has the advantage? Or maybe we'll let it go a little bit more. Right here. Right here. Who has the advantage? Because I think every analyst out here will say Kongdoo, right? I think everyone in the game was going to say Kongdoo with the high ground. We got a couple low grounders. I don't know if they're just playing the odds. Are they playing the odds, or are they actually using thought? So Robbie says low ground. James, low ground. We got very few low grounders. GG Prax. Too exposed up high on this map. Ooh, GG Prax. Now he's starting to do some logic. Now what? Now, class, what do we say the high ground provides? At least, what do I say? I don't know if anyone remembers. Does anyone remember what I say? There's 2 big advantages to being on the high ground. High ground advantage. Does anyone remember? Information and position. There, okay, that's fucking good. So yes, information is the one. Info and position, I would call position, I call it options. And why I call it options is that you have the positional advantage, but you're allowed to drop at any point in time, and they don't have the ability just to jump up here, right? More or less, unless they have a very specific skills set of heroes, right? And so we go, all right. Do they have, also by options, I mean they can go backwards and hide so they don't take damage, right? Right, the ball's in their court. But information's actually not that strong on this point from the high ground. If we notice that this entire section is blocked off, they can't see what they're doing. Not only that, but they could go out here technically, or they could go out over here. Let me use a different color. Let me use pink. So they could attack this way, they could attack this way, or they could attack this way and this way, right? You can't see it. It's actually blocked off. So information, that's a little bit of a red herring. I wouldn't say they have the informational advantage. And I would say it goes the other way as well. Like, LuxuryWatch doesn't have great information on Kongdoo. Now, options. Now, here's why I've told you King of the Hill switches from like this, where it's a little bit of a free-for-all, into attack to defense. Is that when we talk about options, we say, well, the defense or whoever's on top, whoever's on the high ground, has the ability to either jump off high ground and engage. They can also choose where to engage at. Like, they can jump off over here and engage around this side if they felt like it for whatever reason. They could go down here. They could jump backwards and fall down that way. But they can say where and when. They can also hide their numbers with high ground, but that's about more information. And at this point, they could blank with some lower numbers and hide their numbers on the high ground, but they're going to see it because these flanks are rather long. And they have sight this way and this way. So, what their option is usually based around that I don't have to jump down right now, right? But here's the thing. It's King of the Hill, fuckers. You have to jump down. The low ground has the point, right? High ground gets no advantage here. Now, if they had the point, high ground could, you know, like wait them out a little bit until this meter goes up in a little bit, and then they have to jump down. So at some point, Kongdoo have to jump down to deal with this low ground threat. But what do we know about this map? What do we know about this map? This doorway allows people from the low ground to shoot anyone that comes down, right? So not only when they go down to contest can they get shot from the low ground, but the high ground themselves can't assist them. There's no line. There's no line of sight. Right? So anyone that jumps down gets eaten up through this pathway. There's also one other thing, and that is right here, that most people don't understand about high ground, is that high ground has a blind spot. Right beneath it. And especially on some maps like this, where there's actually pathways beneath the high ground, that's a big old blind spot. So what happens is that Kongdoo thinks they have the advantage, and LuxuryWatch waits them out until the point unlocks, right? Right here, we have Kongdoo. I think they realize they're in a bad spot. They start trying to get a flank on, because in 5 seconds, he wants to jump again. But, watch this. The point starts capping. It's already half point, and they have to commit. Here we go. Kongdoo's committing. Everyone hits the ground. What happens? Slept through that entrance that we talked about. Also, everyone focused the Winston that hit the ground first. And now, it's a 5v6, and Roadhog's the only one on the low ground. What happens? Anyone on the low ground gets eaten up immediately. Tracer passes in through the blind side. Right? Now she's safe down here from the high ground. High ground can do nothing against this. And not only that, but they get the point at the same time. I think this is one of the best designed maps in Overwatch right now. It's actually beautiful. How the low ground does have a disadvantage, but they have a complete advantage. And how their low ground's allowed to eat up the high ground if they come down not at the same time. This is a tactical loss here. Straight up. And the funny thing is that I believe everyone thinks Kongdoo had the high ground advantage. They did have the high ground advantage, but they thought they had the advantage on the high ground, which are two different things. The truth is, this high ground is a bit of a red herring if LuxuryWatch, or if the other team plays it like LuxuryWatch does. I find it hilarious when any type of analyst is like, you know what? Kongdoo had the high ground advantage. They should have won. It's like, nah, man, you don't know fucking shit. So anyone that said low ground, you were correct. You were correct because well, you're correct because you're right, and that's what happened. But you were right just because of how the map was designed. The low ground does have the advantage here because of that corridor that allows them to shoot anyone on the low ground, and because of how this is why I define high ground, and I list out like what they do, like what high ground does, because then we can notice at some points, like, when you have the high ground, you're like, do I have this? You're like, okay, I do have this. Do I have this advantage? Oh no, I don't. And you're like, all right, maybe this high ground isn't that good for me. Maybe I shouldn't prioritize this high ground so much when I play. But if you have both, then yeah, you got the high ground advantage. But if you don't have either, then it's like, this is a false high ground. Am I still mad at who? Gohan? No. I could care less. I'm not mad. I don't get mad, guys. If I get mad, you fucked up big time. Stars, you say, why does Volskaya suck? Or is there a specific reason why it sucks? Because there's no staging point from attack or defense. So this is important, this Tracer. Because this Tracer saw everything that happened. She's relaying information back to her team that's somewhere else. And she also goes, hey, Ana's alone, main path. So she attacks the main force, and then we don't see it. But the Ana, she got Soldier ulted almost to death, and then she had to use her Bionic Grenade on herself. And then Soldier just runs into the mass of shit that is the other enemy's team's tanks. And it's a really nice Helix rocket. Ana's a little bit short on healing because her Bionic Grenade was used early. There it is, used again. And at this point, so people in this match have said the reason why Kongdoo lost was because they hard countered, or they countered Evermore, and that's bullshit. What they did is, you know how I tell you people that play versus the hero, not the player. Because you develop bad habits. Because if you play against a player, like a low SR person, you can play a lot differently. And you need to respect the heroes for what they can do and not what someone can do with the hero. What LuxuryWatch does is they play against the hero, Roadhog, instead of playing against the player, Evermore. And so in this case right here, Roadhog is a slow hero. He's not very quick, guys. He's not known for his nimbleness. Essentially, as the dive happened over here on the main part of Kongdoo, they separated the Roadhog out here because he's so slow. So right now the Roadhog's out here, and you're going to see a bubble get put up, which separates this team over here and the Roadhog over here, securing his death. Right now, there's nothing no one can do to save him. So they try to force their way out of this, but Diva and some Winston stuff, like, there's a lot of meat. He does get the Winston, but by this time, all the respawns are coming back in. And, yeah, they had a numbers advantage from the start. Also, this Tracer's phenomenal. So as we continue, Evermore gets a pick. This is what this guy specializes in. Hands down. This is what the guy's pretty much known for. And this is what Hog is known for, to get an early pick. The weird thing about this one is, okay, they get the pick. They have yet to attack. Alright, now they're on point. She's actually already respawned. They wasted 8 seconds, kind of fiddling around to get in position. Also, what do? Winston attacks the high ground. Diva attacks the high ground. Remember what I said? They're playing against the player, or hero, not the player. Roadhog has no ability to traverse high ground. So they just dive the high ground. There's nothing up there to protect them. And they pick both supports because of it. Soldier tries to do something. But one soldier can only do so much. I mean, he can kill Lucio. But then an angry Winston gets in his face. And this little corner gets him killed. Right here. Right there. He gets stuck on the wall for a little bit. At this point, I mean, they had a 3-man advantage. Bling does not hit the Roadhog with his ult. And now those 2 supports that got picked, that's all that's left. This was a really good way of playing against Roadhog and not playing against Evermore. Do I know what they're saying? No, I don't. I don't speak Korean at all. Is Hook on an 8-second cooldown here? I don't believe it is. We can actually look at the Roadhog pick. I think this is still old patch. Yep, it's 6 seconds. So this is still old patch. Alright, so we're going back. Now we're going to go back. So those that don't know, this game, or this tournament, plays King of the Hill in its best of 3. Not best of 5 like on ladder. So LuxuryWatch won 2 rounds, so they win that one. Now let me move my notes to King's Row. So Kongdoo lost, so they get to pick their next map. And they picked King's Row. Also, they're running a Sombra. This pick actually sticks, and it's a really cool way. They scout for some stuff, look for an easy pick, and then switch. So if you guys, I know there's a lot of people that ask me to play Sombra and try to figure her out. This move right here is pretty fucking good. Teleport her over and hack him midair. It doesn't work, but it's a really neat idea. You can see they were planning on that hack because of the aggression here. Also, and this is on old patch, so this is a 6-second cooldown. She could have got up here faster. But Sombra actually has some ability to contest high ground. It's not very strong, but in this case, she does scare the Ana off. Yeah, and some stuff happens. The Reinhardt got picked off, and the Sombra's really low, so they just back off. And now this is, I guess it's just a problem with Sombra, but gets a hack off, but then gets soloed by Lucio. This is a little bit of a fault on... This is a little bit of a fault on Sombra's part, because you can clearly hear the Lucio skating on the wall right next to you. Like, it's extremely loud. Here, look, we'll turn it up. I mean, you guys should be able to hear it clearly. Like, he's right on the wall. You know that guy's on the wall right next to you. So expect some type of contention. Yeah. Oh no, you got killed in Sombra. What are you gonna do? The camera of shame. Some trades happen here, some pokes. They try to flank towards high ground, or flank through hotel. LuxuryWatch backs up and then ults out. This is a very common way of trying to retake a point. Is that you back up all your forces into the corner, and as soon as all of their forces get on point, you essentially ult out. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to fight the team as one instead of finding people that are fractured around. But it looked like LuxuryWatch or Kongdoo called this, because look, I mean, they're gone. By the time this ult hits, and they double down on the ult, and they double down on nothing. Sombra gets a... Okay, hack off? But most importantly is that they bullied the tanks off a point. Hacking a soldier, what can you do? She does some damage, but it's not great. So I just want to go back and look at this right away. So yesterday we talked about how I see some characters as verbs. And notice this Roadhog ult. So there's all this space here. There's all this open space. Nothing is happening in it. And they try to fill it with a DPS. Now DPS is not very good at controlling space. So what happens is, after all his ults wear off, Roadhog comes in. Roadhog's really good at taking space, and Roadhog's really good at just taking everything that's not, like, bolted down to the floor. And by that, I mean, like, a tank. So if this Reinhardt wasn't here, this empty space that soldiers try to fill would just get immediately taken by Hog. And that's how I kind of feel about Roadhog. Like, his ability is to take, forcefully. So, as a tank and as a Roadhog, he pushes back onto the point with his ult. And you can see right here, no one's here. Right, Roadhog pushed him all the way along with a nano-boosted soldier. EMP on the top. I don't actually think that hits anyone. At this point, both of their tanks are dead. And with no tanks dead, they have little to no way to contest the point. They can throw some 200 hit point bodies on it, but they're just going to get destroyed. Remember, tanks control space. And when you're out of tanks, it doesn't matter. Right? At this point, it doesn't matter what happens. They have zero ability to take the point back. Keeping them busy is cute, but not really needed. So they take the point with no contention.
이건 사실 LW블루 쪽의 실수가 좀 컸던 게 아닌가라는 생각이 드는 것이 지난번에 하나무라 2층에서 수비할 때 세베베 선수가 나노전 조준경을 아무도 없는데 사용했다가 뚫리는 경우를 봤었는데
Yeah, I think that was a good lesson about how tanks hold space. It's hard for light classes to take space from a tank. Both teams are trying a little bit of sneaky stuff, but both teams are onto it. This is just a wombo. The one thing to notice about this, why Zarya is so important to have on a team, is we're at 44% ult, 54, and this is pretty much ult. And so with this, Soldier more or less gets his ultimate. He's at 90%, 93, 94, 95. So, Ana is up to 80. Soldier's up to, I would consider it 100. So what they do is, Zarya allows other people to get their ults. That's a very good secondary use of her ultimate ability. I like comboing her with two. Like, you use two people to get your other teammates' ult. Like that. Wop, wop, wop. Some squids. Yeah, but you combo Zarya's ult with other people to give other people ultimates. And this just really helps your ultimate economy. It really puts it in your favor. And shit like this also helps. This secures it. This secures both Ana's and Soldier's ult at this time. This is a... Mei must have boosted Ana up here, because I have no idea why she got here or how she got here. It's kind of funny, but it works. So they push out of this top point. I guess they figure it's better than the bottom one. Hooks happen. Reinhardt uses an ult. Reinhardt uses an ult. Both Lucios use ults. Both soldiers use ults, and both Anas use ults. Everything is traded, and at this point, all the ults have been used. I believe it was 4 on each side. Ana, Soldier, Lucio, and Rein. They both have lost 1. That's it. One lost the DPS. Kongdoo lost the DPS. LuxuryWatch lost a healer, but Mei is almost dead, and we will see slowly or shortly what happens. So they press forward, and then as I think this was a defensive Lucio amp it up. But what happens is as LuxuryWatch Blue engages, this is what I love about Roadhog, is that as LuxuryWatch is here, and they try to engage, it does help that Reinhardt charge this way, but Roadhog essentially throws us, he takes this space. He says, no. No one's coming here, everyone get away, we're going to kill this Reinhardt. Oh, sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Am I muted? Alright, good. So it's a really, that's the primary way I see Roadhog using ult, is to split combat in half. He gets 2 kills and there's just no way to defend at this point. And now it's up to LuxuryWatch to defend. Uh-oh, what do we know, boys? Yo, Womb's coming back. Oh, the Womb. Oh, it's so good. Let's just look at everyone's ult percentage. 28, 19, 43. 8, 19, 44? 50? So just doing the alt combo gave everyone roughly like 20 to 30%. Oh, that's another one. Oh, he's happy about that one. But yeah, always remember the secondary effects of ultimates, especially Zarya's, because she allows her team to kill instead of killing them herself, is that it enables other people to get ult. Right, because Soldier doesn't do this, McCree doesn't do this, most other ultimates in the game are just about doing damage. And, but the tank ultimates build other teammates' ultimates. Except for Roadhog. But even then, he can do that. This was looking like a really nice wall, but the Ana boosting the Reinhardt seals the fate. That was really, really close for Mei defending that entire thing from her team. So Mei goes to Hog. And that's... Oh, and Soldier goes to McCree. I've been noticing McCree a lot on this last point. And we will see Waka Waka. He will change to McCree later on as well. Because McCree's fall-off damage is 15 meters. And 15 meters is farther than you think. Like, I think where this guy's at to the cart is at least 15. You don't need that extra range from Soldier for the 35 meter range. McCree's burst damage is, I think, more worth it. And it looks like teams value that as well. You get a bunch of ults. How? Ana boosts Zarya. Also, Lucio uses his ult. Hog tries to flank with his ultimate. He gets caught. Zarya, they commit a lot of ults on this. But what happens that you can't see is that there's a Reinhardt right here. And this Reinhardt, he's being a good boy. The Reinhardt's staying on the cart, guys. And the secondary effect of him staying over here is that he's going to be blocking the McCree, which is the only source of... See, there's the Reinhardt shield, which is the only real source of damage now that the Zarya has been taken care of. I mean, they got Roadhog, and McCree at this distance. So they can't really follow. They try to follow up. They get a good follow-up hook. But 3 ults for getting that. Remember, with that exchange, not many allies got ult percentage from Zarya's ult. So not only do I look about getting people killed, but I look at your allies killing the people you ult with Zarya. I think that's a very, very important point. So I would say that is what happened there was obviously it was a less than effective Zarya ult because less people died. But I would still consider a Zarya ult where she only gets, like, if she got all those kills in there, like, if all these kills that happen at the end of this thing, like, if this Ana and the Roadhog, if they all died from the Zarya herself, I would actually consider that also kind of a bad ult. She's really good at giving her friends charge. Also, we get a Chili owner. Hold on. Chili owner, you gave me $5. Thank you so much for that. Love these reviews, Chro. Keep it up. I will. More importantly, like, what type of chili do you own? I know this is a pro review, and we shouldn't stop it for chili, but I like to go on tangents a lot, and I am a chili fanatic. I quite like chili. If I go to any restaurant, I will buy the chili. So do you own, like, is there any specific chili you like? Any specific chili you own? And if you say Wendy's, I'm going to smack you. Chili's chili? Oh, like the restaurant. Okay, you're a Chili's owner. I like fajitas. If you are a Chili's owner, that would be fucking dope as shit. This has to be one of my favorite things I've ever seen in Overwatch. Look at this Ana. Oh, you can't get me, Widow. You can't get me. And then right here, boom. You know exactly what the fuck happened to her. She got hooked. Boom. Dead. Oh, that infrared sight is great with that. So as that hook happened, we barely get to see this. You can see the hook right here. This hook. Roadhog hooks the other Widow. And now that's not enough reason to push out just getting a Widow pick because you're down your Ana. But with the 6-second cooldown, he picks a Zarya, and from here, this is something you push out on. Being down those 2 people, and with Roadhog's ult, definitely gives you all the space you need. So that was a really good push out by their part. I liked how they didn't push after the Widow pick. I think it was the correct decision saying, okay, look, we got the Widow pick. That's cool. We can come out more, but it doesn't mean we can push. Just because none of their tanks were killed, and also the McCree. McCree's really good for punishing a Reinhardt that solo pushes out, like that tries to bully your team. You know, if that Reinhardt pushed out, he would have gotten stunned above the shield, and he probably got taken out. Just like how this McCree tried to punish the other Reinhardt. So this pick, super important. And this Hog, he's taking back all that space again. And that second Widow pick was damn important. Because they're at 40 seconds right now. Those that can't see, they're at 40 seconds. Getting that second Widow pick, it kind of, like, maybe they have a very rough timing to make 2 attacks work. But with that second Widow pick, it's down to 1. And here comes... I know people like to do this, and there's a time for sneaky stuff, and LuxuryWatch doesn't do it too often, so I was like, alright, if they want to try sneaky stuff, that's cool. But, right there, the Zarya hits someone, she's like, alright, I know someone's over there, and they kind of get their shit called. Sorry, Jamal, we passed a little bit too far past the Ana getting hooked. Look at it again. Okay, so this happens. Right here, essentially, both teams attack the back lines. The problem is this Reinhardt. Look how quick this I think this ult would have got him, maybe. I've seen Reinhardt get stupider stuns off, but all he got was a Lucio. The McCree didn't even get hit. As the Zarya jumps in the back line, I believe... Yeah, they're just destroying him. The Reinhardt gets Ana boosted and takes out the defensive Reinhardt. And with Lucio ult, it's a 64. Oh, man. He was going... McCree was going for something special. He could have done something better, but Roadhog ult just keeps everyone away, and they push right to point. It is good to note, though, that they did it in overtime. Just by, what, 2 seconds? I think what happened here was the greedy Reinhardt flank, right? He got one. Then he died. I mean, if there's anyone on point, they're just going to get stunned. Like, I believe he ults. Oh, no, he dies. Sorry. Yeah. Not much to say about that one. Now, if he stunned the enemy Reinhardt there, that would have been differently. I think that would have hit him. I really do think that would have hit him. That was really, really quick reaction time. I mean, this was like, what, a split second? He's shielding left, and then pow. That was good. That was a good defense on his part. The McCree got greedy. I think... So I was thinking that too. I'm like, this McCree is fucking greedy. Like, he could have pulled the trigger here or somewhere. I think he knew he was screwed. And he just wanted to try to go for the biggest kill possible, because that was the only way they're going to defend it. Whatever. Like, he would have had to kill 4 of them for them to take that point. I don't think it matters what the McCree did with his ult. Truly. YouTube has an option to slow time on videos. You may want to try that. What? I didn't know about that option. Let's... Pow, 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 pow. So, this seems to be very normal now. That Hanzo's come out, they shoot Sonic Arrow to check a corner, and then they go back to spawn. We see a Pharah. I'm gonna try to at least get 1080. 1080? I meant 480. My bad. Definitely not 1080. So we see a normal push out. They push out the far side of the statue. This forces the Reinhardt shield this way. It also, it kind of keeps this hotel a big 0. And by 0, I mean no one really controls it. If, as the attackers, you can get in, you can get around the shield, but the same applies to the the defenders. You can get quick access to the squishies. And what has me worried is that the squishies are back here and they're not back here. So that if someone comes out here, the tanks, they either have to come out of the shield or they have to fall back and lose ground to defend them. So, okay, as I said that, both the supports moved up, Pharaoh's moving up. Pharah is moving up, not Pharaoh. And here's a little, like, Reinhardt versus Reinhardt battles are always, I love this chess match. So what happened was, alright, we're just gonna watch this, what happens. Zarya dies. Reinhardt dies. And then they're gonna go on to the point. But watch what happens here. So, the tanks drive a wedge between the Reinhardt and the rest of the team. And that's good, because then you can both turn around and kill the Reinhardt, hopefully. But what happens is the Zarya pushes forward by herself. And if we're taking a look at the statue, this is kind of on an angle. Then there's that hallway back here. So the Zarya and the Reinhardt pushed out this way, forcing a Reinhardt here. I'll use an R for Reinhardt. While the rest of the team, like the Hog was here, Allied Zarya, everyone was here. So they did a good job splitting them, but the Zarya followed this way. And Reinhardt has a really useful skill called Charge that he used like this. Not only does he get back with his teammates faster, well, he picks up a Zarya on the same way. The Zarya gets killed from the right after the pin. The Reinhardt went in to save her. The Reinhardt tried to charge the Reinhardt that was charging. He missed, and he dies himself. With this, the main two tanks are gone. And like I said, with tanks out of the picture, look, they can't hold space. So they go through... I like this idea of going... I was thinking, like, why not just go through here, right? This is a valid option. Right? And I gotta switch to blue because Color Bastion watches these and he's colorblind, so we gotta use red as little as possible. Right? That seems like a reasonable thing to want for the Reinhardt. But they don't. And what this does is it 100% gets everyone out of this freaking corner so they can't push out, right? Because if you go on here on Reinhardt and you just stick here with the shield, they could be here, and it also gives them the ability to go here, right? These are all options for them. What they do is they do the one thing that gives them a 100% chance of getting everyone out and going the flank. Also, because the soldier was on the high ground like we see here, also that is a cute-ass play the Zarya does. Zarya bounces up here and then bounces up into the high ground. So she clears the high ground, which is a really cool, like, Zarya not known for her high ground defense, but she actually does it. So they get the point, and at this time, I start thinking, maybe going on point may have been the right idea, right? They're that close. But the usual contention happens. You push out with a Reinhardt as Tex. Reinhardt versus Reinhardt, like you just push out against shield versus shield. Use ults, right? Ana uses ult. This is pretty standard. The one thing to note is that the Ana is this way, the Zarya is here, the Roadhog is here, and the Reinhardt is here. Look how, I mean, it's a good spread. Also, Red has a soldier, so he's probably somewhere on this flank. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong team. They have a Pharah, and she was above them. That was a defensive ult that didn't net anything. Everyone ran away. They do get a Hog, but they scare everyone else away. They do get a pick there. They get a second pick here. But right now it's 2 picks versus 2 picks, and the offense disengages. But I believe what we saw, I mean, this is a pretty good idea of flanking through here. It's just that they had a lot more. They had a Zarya soldier, and with a Pharah right here, and the Zarya, the attacking Zarya was here as well. They just had a lot more forces on that point than they thought they would. And it's all because they backed off the point as fast as possible as soon as the Reinhardt ult came out. Or the nano boosted Rein came out. And now they just kind of abuse the fact that they get reinforcements faster. They're going to get on out. Again, a quick flank through Hotel. Right here, this puts all the enemies in front of them. Whoever's over here, whoever's in the high ground, and whoever's on the point. Right? It's all right in front of you. And what do you do when everything's right in front of you? You Roadhog ult. Roadhog ult pushes the tanks off the point, which they rightfully bully everyone off the point and take it immediately. Now, the point is so close to being captured. I think this is like 3 to 4 seconds that both the tanks are forced on the point. Why? Because one, no one else is like, maybe the Ana or the soldier could try to contest, but they don't have the contention power that the tanks do, like Reinhardt and Zarya. And as you force someone onto the point because of the percentage, use Zarya ult. And they Pharah ult, they just do the wombo combo on it. I'm less impressed about the Pharah ult, but I do like the idea of... Notice how they get on this point. I think this should be noted. Like, they're not on the point right now. Right, they kind of push everyone off the point, and they could push onto the point more, but they push on it enough to make this sound go off, right? And when you hear the sound as a player, you're like, shit, I gotta get on point. So there's a psychological change, like, I have to get on point. Like, I have to or they're going to win. It doesn't matter what I do out here. If I'm not on point, they're going to win this point. And they don't hold it, right? They touch it, and then they back off. Like, they give it up right away. And as this void is filled by Zarya and Reinhardt, the Zarya takes advantage of it with an ult, right? They're forced on point, and now they're forced to be on point completely. I think that was... I don't know if, like, that's... I want to know the thought behind them going on and off point really quick, and why they did that. Because what it did is it forced the enemy team on point, and then they backed off, so that the other team had to commit.
이런 경기는요. 두 팀은 모두 잘하는 선수들이잖아요. 흥분을 좀 덜 하는 팀이 제가 볼 때는 4강에 올라갑니다. 예, 루나 선수도 굉장히 잘하고 있는데 좀 흥분할 때가 있어요. 예, 나노강과 타이밍을 조금 더 잘 잡아야 됩니다.
말도 너무 빨라져서 안 되죠. 천천히. 좀 확실하게 원래 그 한 방에 안 죽는 적들을 데미지 포커시켜서 잡는다거나 생존을 위해서 나노강 과제를 쓰는 경향이 루나 선수는 조금씩 보이는데 이게 상대방
So, a little bit too forced of an ult. They Ana ult, they soldier ult. They soldier ult, they Roadhog ult, they Reinhardt ulted, they Ana ulted. They hold the Zarya and the Lucio ult. But after, I don't know if all that was needed. After a whiffed Reinhardt ult. Like, I think it would have been good to see what the Ana ult gets, and then move on from there. The soldier ult is okay too, but yeah, that's an expensive defense. It's a very expensive defense. It costs a lot of resources. Here is Kongdoo, sorry, doing their normal shit of just, hey, you know what? Let's be sneaky, guys. Not only that, but they're super sneaky. They got one sneak here. Ooh, super sneaky. And already, the Reinhardt knows something's up. He's like, what's going on? Oh. And then they're just like, shit, boys, the jig is up. Run. Scatter, everyone. This was a good call on Kongdoo's part. Because they got... One person got picked off, they're like, they're going to attack as hard as they possibly can. Everyone run away. And because they ran away... Right, at this point, you don't want to... You don't want to fight strength with strength. Why? You're weaker. Right? At this point in the choke, it is 6v5. You are weaker. Do not directly contest with strength, because you will lose. So what do? You back off. Run, 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 run. They use an ult a little bit willy-nilly, but you get a hook yourself, and everyone's so far away, no one else can follow up. Right, remember the thing with the 3 tanks? Is that tanks have low range. Actually, that's their biggest weakness, is range. If you put enough space between you and them, if they ult, it's kind of wasted. They can't capitalize on it. So they get the pick. This is so funny. I love this. Hold on, I got a picture. I got a picture. Here we are at King's Row, the cart was here. The pick happened here, right? Zarya died here. This one pick got them this much distance. In which case, Kongdoo instead got a pick themselves. And look how much distance they're losing. They're losing all of this distance again. Right, here they are, they're getting pushed back. This is all off of a pick. That's how wildly this... The whole thing is you don't want to take any more damage than you need to, because the ult percentages, I believe they can feel it, are really close, right? It's 2 ults to 1 ult. No one wants to give up more percentage than they need. That's why when a pick happens, they immediately back off. Get a nice Zarya ult. Again, let's just take a look. Let's just take a look. Before this attack even happens, 68%, 57%. Reinhardt's already up to 75. So is Soldier. Reinhardt gets his ult now. Soldier gets up to 90. So that's right. They burn 2 ults to get other people more ults. So again, good ult economy. And what happened? Look at this. So Kongdoo had a sneaky Reinhardt, and he tried to ult them from behind. Watch how fast this guy's reaction time is just from sound. This is why sound is important, guys. The entire team just got defended by the Reinhardt turn. Reinhardt then turns and ults the team that's trying to capitalize on this ult, right? That's the thing. As Reinhardt ults, this team has to engage immediately. The thing is it got blocked, so the Reinhardt does a 180 no-scope and hammers the team. Which all start dying to everyone. So again, sneaky shit happens. But what happened? What is this? Everyone's just like running around. Fucking Evermore. This guy's just hiding in the corner with Roadhog. I know a lot of people are thinking, what can one guy do with Roadhog? Look how far that points up. He's gonna make his team lose. Well, you can get a Lucio pick. You can pull the team back. And then you can dodge a hook. And then put the team into a corner, which your team then kills. Also, you take out the Reinhardt. This is Evermore doing Evermore stuff. He's good, guys. The problem is that I think him being really good lets him take more risks because he's a bit too cocky. So here he is. He's doing his thing again, but he gets caught. Uh-oh. Genji's like, hey, found the fucker. Let's get him. What happens? Oh, just the entire team comes to kill him. Lucio speed boosts. Hog gets a hook. Man, Evermore just overextends. Now, sometimes it works and he gets a really cool flank off, but a lot of the time he gets caught and his team gets punished for it. So not only does the sneaky Roadhog get punished, but there's a sneaky Reinhardt again. So everyone came through top. Here's the so he it's weird because everyone's like, oh, they went up top and they killed me, so you should be expecting them to come out top as well. But the Reinhardt's in the low ground. I don't know if he thought everyone was going to come through main where he could ult them, but from on the low ground, you can't do shit to people on the high ground. In fact, the high ground bypasses them and attacks the meat of the team. So he ults, he gets 1 stun. As the Genji and everyone else. This is a good choice on his part. Look how much health he's at. He's at 3 health. I think he would die to a melee immediately after the Zarya got out of the pin. So ults come out on point, and they clean up. Again, sneaky Evermore and sneaky Reinhardt kind of get punished. I think they actually lost this point because of that. It was a Rein sacrifice, but remember, he only had 3 health. He wasn't sacrificing much. They immediately push up. They're a little upset. And I'm surprised this bullying works to such an extent. It looks like he's losing the shield battle heavily, so they back out and let shield recharge. Which is a good call. Actually, I shouldn't undervalue what happens here. They clearly have the shield advantage, and as a team, they back out to let it regen. And this allows them to actually, get up there with at least 1,000 hit points on the shield by the time they get to the cart. Because getting to this point to cut off this angle is really important. When they're out here, people in this room and people in this flank can all shoot and easily hit it. But getting to this corner kind of blinds anyone here. Like they have no ability to attack the shield then. They get a good hook on Rein. And that hooking Reinhardt, man, that starts so much stuff. Counter hook. And as soon as the Reinhardt got hooked, the Soldier filled the space with his ultimate. Without a shield user, Soldier ult, especially with Nano Boost, is so goddamn good. Did he have Nano Boost? I just want to check. Yeah, he did. So as their Reinhardt dies, Soldier's coming out of here with his ult, I believe. Yeah, and the Reinhardt gets hooked. That seals the fate. Well, it doesn't seal the fate. They all ran away quick enough. Another push up. This is what makes Ana so strong. That's a cute healing thing. So, man, this hook must have hit just seconds before the bubble gets put on. That's so damn close, and that's all because of the Ana sleep dart. And because of the Roadhog getting picked, everyone commits onto it, and as soon as they saw this commitment, Reinhardt just ults it. Right, here's everyone committing to try to help the Roadhog. Ult comes out, they get 2 picks, and that's enough. Getting one to 2 picks is huge. 1 picks usually signals an attack, 2 picks is definitely an attack. I'd say 2 picks signal a retreat, in which case, LuxuryWatch just cleans them out in the route. And then what happens? Guys, to all the males in chat, I don't know if anyone has heard of this, but like when a guy usually gets caught in a lie, you know what we do, right? A guy will usually like lie bigger. Like they will lie so fucking much that we put ourselves in this lie hole, and we have to lie ourselves even more to, like, we dig deeper somehow to think we get out of it. So what does Kongdoo do? They're like, hey guys, all right, we got caught being sneaky 1 time, so let's be sneaky again. They won't expect it the 2nd time. We got caught being sneaky a 3rd time. All right, guys, we're going to be sneaky a 4th time, right? They won't expect that. Anyways, the Hog's over here. Zarya pokes him out. This Zarya, this little boop, the boop, get up here on the high ground. Zarya, you'll see, she starts hitting the Hog. Or the Hog over here, sorry, Evermore. So, Evermore is like, you know what, all I know what to do is flank and pick people off in a one-on-one situation. And he keeps trying this, and LuxuryWatch keeps calling you shit over and over and over, and this just stops working. So here's that. They touch the cart and they back off. They touch the cart, they back off. This allows them to defend more of people at once because of the angle. And they roll out a Bastion. Now look at this Bastion setup. I didn't realize how annoying... I should ask Color Bastion about this. I didn't realize how annoying the cart is. Especially with these boxes. Bastion can hit, what, people here? And because of the Reinhardt, where everyone fell down, he actually can't shoot anyone at this point in time. It was a very good, whether they know it or not, LuxuryWatch at the time, staying on the far side of the cart. Oh, I think they did know, because the Bastion was tearing down the shield. You can see the Bastion shots right here. So they all pile up on the other side of the payload. Which, yes, it does leave them vulnerable to Reinhardt ult. But it doesn't really matter, right? Because the Bastion can't follow up on the damage. And without the Bastion, they don't have a lot of damage to deal, right? And then Bastion removes, or he moves to try to deal damage now. And at this point, they already took out one guy. And the Reinhardt's asleep. The D.Va is getting hooked. So right now, 2 people are disabled. 1 person is dead. And the Bastion is just starting to fire again. The Reinhardt dies instantly. D.Va gets thrown the fuck out. Look at this. D.Va, get out. Boom! Slow-mo won't catch that. Man, that's such a good... Just get out. Everyone focuses the Bastion. He dies. Roadhog ult on the cart is so strong at this point. And they capture it. Yeah, that was so I think what won him this, I believe it was the initial call out on Bastion. Right here when they see the Bastion and they go, "Hey, everyone, get on this side of the cart." The Zarya is also up here. So the Zarya is kind of giving some support. The Lucio's up here too. So the Bastion have no... Also the Deadeye got Roadhog. Where did Roadhog die at? It's a funny story because you're like... You can barely see this. What happens? You're going to see something fly right here. You're going to see something fly by really quick, and that's the Roadhog getting hooked. Right there. Did you see that? Evermore flanking gets punished again. He immediately gets deleted. They hide behind the cart, forcing Bastion to reposition. And look, I mean, did you notice? Look how they're fighting behind the cart the entire time. Like, look at Bastion's line of sight. He really can't hit much. Like, even here, he still can't get much. As soon as he starts shooting again, Ana does this. Like, she tries to hold that wall, and everyone else is behind this. Except for the Zarya. Look, see how everyone's over here? Like, I mean, look at this. This is anti... And this is what I, when I talk about this, I say, if you can beat someone with your feet, your feeties, if you can beat someone with your movement, it allows you to shoot to kill someone else. It frees up your hands. And that's what they do. They use their feet to kill the Bastion. For all intents and purposes, right now, I think Bastion's dead. He's not doing shit. And with their feet free to beat Bastion, their hands are now open to kill the Reinhardt and the D.Va. When that happens, it's now like a 5v1 with a D.Va way the fuck out here because she just got booted out of there. So let's skip. We are now in overtime, boys. Let's look at the defense. Pretty standard. Genji, Tracer, a little bit aggressive with Zarya and Reinhardt, right? You want some tank on defense. Again, They do the Hanzo stuff. Now they're running a Widow, which I like. Well, Widow's really risky. If you have 4 minutes on the first point, I think it's a good pick, because all you need is 1 or 2 picks and you can take the point. With 1 minute, you gotta get you have to kill someone immediately. Now she messes up this hook, and I think that's key. She's stuck on the low ground for 16 seconds. So Pharah kind of has free reign. This is old patch, I believe. So Ana does 80 damage right now. Almost takes her out. And for some reason, I looked at this review over and over and over. The only thing that makes sense to me is that the Widow slingshotted and missed her shot and landed way in front here. That's why she's so far pushed up, because she gets taken out immediately. She pushed up way too far. I believe it was a missed grapple. I think she was going for one of the slingshot shots, like way up high, and just landed in an unfortunate spot. So with that pick, it really sets Kongdoo back. And actually, the Widow's immediately dropped for a McCree. Now, Pharah's pushed out. Notice here, and people talk about how important is the Ana nerf to the rifle. Very important. And this is why, for Pharah. If you shoot Pharah twice, she has to run. And you get an early ult on Kongdoo. Like, it's 66% to Kongdoo's 100% on Fissure. And actually, the guy that named Fissure has it. But he uses it very quickly. I think he was trying to get someone on the edge. But he ends up missing everyone. But he does get a good charge in. It gets the Reinhardt killed. But as everyone dives, as the Reinhardt dives, oh, let's go to yellow. As the Reinhardt dives in, the Zarya will support him through here. As that happens, the Zarya on the defending team jumps in. So does the Tracer. I forget where she's at. She's all nibbly bibbly. She actually just already killed the McCree. So she's probably back here somewhere. They're going to terrorize the back lines. So yeah, there's the Tracer shots. For those of you that didn't see it, the Tracer shots were right here. Lucio ran this way. There's the Zarya running in here. Zarya's, caught being just a huge bitch on point. Sir, the tanks die. But in the back lines, Genji gets Zarya. Actually, Genji gets Zarya over here, trying to support the Reinhardt that dove. Tracer gets another pick in the back lines. Another pick. And here's the prop and then Tracer gets an ult. And Pharah, this is the problem with Pharah, is that she has very little point presence. Right, the fact that she was up here in the sky and she was doing nothing. She was in the sky, and yeah, it sucked that she was there and she's getting damage put out. But at the same time, she exerts no physical pressure like anyone else. So like, look, and they're just staring at her. So that's one of the best. I love that too. This is why I love Koreans. Finish it! Yeah! I want to meet that man. I want to meet him. I want to give him a hug. Fuck is this? He's doing it, boy. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. That's not healthy at all, guys. The gist of the review: Kongdoo likes to do sneaky shit. LuxuryWatch Blue got tired of their shit. Yes. Oh, that's Evermore there? Dude, Evermore is just... Oh, that's Evermore. I thought this was Evermore. That's Luffy. Unless this is a lie. This guy is just not happy the entire time, though. So here's the Tracer play.
이러면 써야죠.
We'll watch the Tracer play in the instant replay.
네트에서 못 막네. 이렇게 지금 경기
So Tracer gets the Ana, Tracer gets the Lucio, Tracer gets the Reinhardt. That's such a good play.
세벨페 선수의 컨디션이 굉장히 좋다라는 게 또 느껴지고.
네. 아니 한 명의 컨디션 중요하거든요. 지난번에 에버모 이번에 세별 1라운드도 그랬고.
지금도 똑같이 당할 수가 있어요.
해줘.
아니 공격.
Let's speed this up. What do we see from the attackers? Tracer, Genji. Pretty standard. 2-2-2. I like this setup. I see 2-2-2 as a very versatile type of comp. The problem with 3-2-1 is that you're lacking range. They use Soldier to try to buffer that, but you're still really dependent on your 1 for DPS. Also, notice that because of Evermore being in the game, they run a Hog. I mean, he's really good on the Hog. I mean, I don't want to say they shouldn't run it. They should run something else, but because they don't run any of the other tanks, this tank composition is not very mobile.
네트에서 못 막네. 알고 지금 쓰는 거기 때문에.
And so, again, I talked about this on Oasis, is how they play against Evermore, not by playing against Evermore, but they play against the Roadhog pick, which is less mobile. So how do they exploit that? Heavy mobility on Tracer and Genji. Also, this flank right here is super, super risky. Because of the time it takes to do all this, they're going to get one attack.
수 있는 환경을 만들어준 루피 좋고요.
에버모가 폭발하는 모릅니다. 지금
Kongdoo does the right thing, and this is really smart on the Soldier's part. He rotates on the rotation, right? As they rotated in, he rotates on them to get back to this high ground. And then they all just jump out of the top.
위치 선정을 잘했고 물러들어온 영웅이 이렇게
As they jump out of the top, this is so beautiful by Tracer. As LuxuryWatch rotated this way, Kongdoo rotated this way, and then the dreaded, oh my god, Tracer rotated on the rotation,
1대1로 싸우면 안 지거든요.
and she gets behind them again. And what happens? Roadhog. I think they pick on Roadhog here on purpose because they know he wants to take the 1v1. But he gets outplayed, and Tracer calls him out, and the entire team's in here, and they kill Evermore immediately. From there, Tracer does so much damn work. Reinhardt, as his teammates start to die, he charges out. Like, here he is. He's charging out of the hotel room. What this does is actually it leaves Zarya out here alone. He abandoned Zarya to go to be with his Ana.
부착에 성공했었고요. 그쵸?
And Zarya just gets hunted down.
못 와요. 이거 빨간 게 없어요. 빨간 게 없어요. 레드가 주고 빨리 주고.
Oh, but they get one last defense. But he gets anti-healed, and the other nano boost really seals the deal here. But this this third rotation, and I like how I think they know Roadhog. I think they know Evermore wants to take this fight, and I don't think Evermore expected the whole team to do this third rotation, right? So there's like one rotation, two rotations, and then a third rotation. And that's what gets Evermore killed. Right here. Like, Evermore's in the middle of 3 people, or of the entire team. And they just focus him down. As the team panics and tries to save him, they take extra damage, right? That's why the Lucio's out here, is because he wanted to try to save the Roadhog. Zarya, or Reinhardt, has to abandon because he's in a bad spot. And what he does is he leaves Zarya alone, which gets her killed. It was really good. I mean, this is a good attempt, but that extra rotation really got him good. Also, what this does is it exploits as everyone rotated, as they rotated this way and they rotated this way. Because Tracer is so fast, she rotated all the way over here, again exploiting Roadhog's immobility. And moreover, when she gets him into a bad situation, Roadhog has no way out except for like attempting to kill someone outright. So again, they're playing against the Roadhog pick rather than the Roadhog player. Tracer, Frolin, Tracer is so good at higher levels. This guy Flower. That's a flower. He's damn good. He's damn good. He actually he played Tracer, or not Tracer, Mei on defense. Give me like 1 minute, guys. I'm going to go get a drink. We're going with Chiptune Mix 19! Oh man, this one's funky, isn't it? Nope, I don't got any food, guys. I just needed water. Can you at least use the speed option on YouTube videos? Lower corner gear to acknowledge its existence. Alright, I've acknowledged its existence. Are you happy now, Frolin? Alright. Back to it, guys. Back to it. That was part 1. We're now going to part 2. Oh man, look at these cool kids. First of all, there's the English casters up here, Korean casters up here. Look at these cool kids. Sitting next to no one, because that's what you do when you're cool. Alright, on to Anubis. Let me pick up my notes. Okay, here we are. Are you a cool kid? You're in my stream, so you're a cool kid. Yep. Instant cool kid. We turn down the volume. Let's look at this Anubis attack. Looking a little divey. Looking a little divey. Zarya bubbles the Winston with Genji. I mean, it screams dive. But their defense, bit divey too. And what do we see? An Ana just fresh for the taking. That's such an immense pick. I'm not sure what she was doing there.
돌아오려면 조금 있고요.
네, 엘더벨 블루 쪽도 역으로 잘 물러 들어가는 타이밍이었죠.
Everyone comes up here. They all need a little bit of health.
플라워는 거의 똑같은 상황이고
Just waiting, just getting their health up. And then they dive. So they're running a counter dive, like they're diving the dive. Winston, we're gonna see this matchup a lot, guys. This Winston dives a soldier and the soldier just runs in circles. We're gonna be seeing it a lot. It's almost annoying how much we see it. But it's one way you can mitigate the Winston. And they're just immediately pushed off point. While they're pushed off point, this Genji is fighting the Ana. He deals enough damage to her to take her low, but he has to bail because he has low health. But he calls in his buddy Winston to come in to finish her off. Who gets away with a microscopic... That's probably like 20 health. 22 health. But he makes it out. These two picks, along with the Tracer pick, really good. Like, the defense... Alright, wave has been held. So, of course, this is where two weeby ninjas would find each other and fight each other. Way up here, in the rafters. Oh yeah, now we gotta have a weeb fight. And then they just break up. Oh, Winston, yeah, get the hell out of there, man. Again, diving the high ground. Soldier runs, create space. Look how far Soldier took off. And while this happened, the dive comp dived the dive, right? Defensive dove the offensive. Took out the back lines while too many people dove after the soldier that was fleeing. Creates a numbers advantage. By the time the soldier gets back, they can start clearing up house. A little bit overzealous on this Winston, but whatever. So pretty, I don't want to say it's a pretty big ult. Well, it's not a pretty big ult. It's 5 versus 4 ult. Evermore's about to get it. Right, Evermore's very, very close to getting it. Again, Monkey, Soldier, run. Lucio ult, but this time they break off the dive. And that's the big difference here. Is that the dive was canceled, and it allowed them to have more forces against the counter dive. In which case they start, right now, I mean, we'll start seeing it. Tracer on point, gets a couple kills. The dive comp dove on a Zarya, which, if she doesn't have bubble, is a good idea, but if you have bubble, diving the Zarya does not work out so well. So I mean, I think it was a good attack all around. Well, it was a little sloppy, but it happens. So here's that soldier running again. Let me bust out my notes for this. Yeah, so all these ults are exchanged. So we'll see Lucio ult, Zarya ult, Genji ult. The Ana dies before her ult. Winston ult. Everyone, it's all going crazy right now. This D.Va ult's really good, though. That's what disengages the teams a lot. It splits everyone up. From there, the D.Va and the Winston, this is when they try to dive the other Zarya. But she has bubble up. And while the two tanks, right, the two tanks are up here. This leaves all of the squishies to the Tracer. And because it's a Zarya, you're trying to jump on a, you know... She's a beefy target, especially with bubble. It was a poor split, I believe, on LuxuryWatch's Blue's part. Remember one big advantage of the dive comp, or at least having mobile characters, is that you get to pick who you attack. They pick to attack the big tanks, while they let the squishies on point die. You gotta make a choice sometimes, and, you know... Anubis point 1 is really difficult anyways. It's one of the hardest points to hold. And now we're on pretty much a very tough point. Nimbus Point 2 is not fun. And remember, this is old patch, so they do not get the spawn increase. Right? Because the Road Dog's hook was on 6 seconds. They're not going to get the spawn increase. You know, that slight change Blizzard made. So they're taking their sweet time coming in here. And then they make the call not to go that way. These are the times I would like to hear what the pros are thinking. So, like, I wonder what they see. They see the D.Va. We can see the outlines, and it looks like there's 2 people over here and 4 people over here. So everyone got off the point, but they split really well, right? Because if they come out here, they're going to receive pressure from this way and a lot of pressure from this way. And because they're running Genji, Winston, D.Va, it's not going to be just from the choke point. It's going to be over the choke point and that wall. I think maybe they thought the formation... and remember, when you attack into a defense, there's 3 advantages, usually. It's there's choke, there's the high ground, and then there's the formation. Don't forget... most people forget about the formation advantage. And what the formation advantage means is, as the attacker, you have to attack into me. That means as the defender, I can put everything as I see fit. So I can position myself perfectly. In this case, you position yourself like bowling balls. Or bowling pins. But it forces you to engage when I have the greatest advantage with terrain and formation. So I think they just saw this formational advantage was way too high. So what they do is I don't know if it's speed. It looks speed boosted. They speed boost out here to try to catch the far flanks. But they're greeted with that nano boosted Winston. So the nano boosted Winston's good, especially with the soldier, or not the soldier, the Reinhardt and the squishies in back, because he can bust out the deeps. As that happened, I don't know the exact thing that happened, but we can see the D.Va. Here we have a Pharah, or not a, yeah, it's the Pharah, and I believe here, I mean, we're watching the Hog, but the Hog's over here, the Hog's blue. I believe it's the Pharah and the D.Va are over there, and as the Pharah and D.Va jump this deep, they just get focused down. And they can afford this numbers advantage on Kongdoo because they have an ulted Winston dealing with the backlines of Kongdoo. So the Pharah makes it out. The Reinhardt and the Zarya on point, not so much. The Winston, he kept the backlines busy, and he even kept the Genji busy while he was nano boosted. He died for it, but I mean, he kept them busy. And that's the point on defense with 2 CP. Is that if you can just keep the other teammates busy while your team kills 1 or 2 people, you will win because of the respawn advantage. Yeah, I don't know why the Zarya... I mean, let me just look really quick one more time. I'm not sure why did the Zarya get hooked? Let me look at her health. Oh, right there. That looked like a hook, maybe. So I think the Pharah was there on her, but like she meant to go there, but yeah, I'm going to assume the Zarya got hooked. And look how deep the Reinhardt is now. The Reinhardt's surrounded by enemies. I think there's someone down there. So yeah, the tanks dove in a staggered-like formation. Well, they didn't dive in a staggered-like formation. One got pulled in too far, which caused the Zarya to die. Reinhardt is too slow, can't get to her. He dies shortly after. Ah, good old poke phase. This Winston.
공격 판테라는 이번 턴에 뚫기가 현실적으로 좀 쉽지가 않아서 이번 턴에
So,
이렇게
on a pick.
피가 그냥 죽으면
Let me. I'm gonna bust it out, people.
이게 다른 영웅이
We're gonna bust out the triangle. So what happened here is they got caught during the logistics phase. Hold on, let me go blue, and I can go. Pow! Ah, logistics phase. They got the Ana pick with the hook. Because it's actually quite difficult to move in a protected formation down that Anubis left flank. I know it seems like something simple that everyone should be able to do, but it's actually quite hard to be shielded the entire time. At least for your entire team to be shielded. And that's what the Winston and the Hog here are doing. As any team pushes in through this way, the defense should always rotate and see what they can pick up. Because if there's any stragglers here, while the rest of the team is here, you just kill them instantly and the push is dead. And that's what happens. The Hog gets a good pick there.
공격 판테라는 이번 턴에 뚫기가 현실적으로 좀 쉽지가 않아서 이번 턴에 이렇게 되면 또
피가 그냥 죽으면
시간 떨어지죠. 이런 것도 한 20초 정도는 그냥 또
Oh, and I don't think Luxury. No, James. I don't think LuxuryWatch is doing sneaky stuff. That's just good. They're punishing anyone that's moving through the room. Right, logistically, you're the weakest then. And the reason I say that, so information is usually, the informational stage is usually when there's Reinhardt shields up and like everyone's fine. Right, everyone's just doing poke. They're doing poke damage. As soon as they make a move to try to get this position, they're strong here again, right? As is this team. This team, when it repositions this way, is strong again. So the weakness is between these positions, right here. That's logistics.
나는 공간에 20%밖에 안 찼어요.
저는 와카와카 선수 끌어내는데 그 반대였거든요. 계속해서 세벨베 선수의 로드오가 트레이서에 그냥 모든 제
So the Ana pick causes a rout. There, that was a good toss. She's at 70%. Gets 10% for a toss. That's pretty good. As the anti-heal hits, the Winston that was hiding up here just jumped right on him.
영웅이 없어요.
And he jumps on him again.
이게 말처럼 쉬운 게 또
But he gets hooked. And he ults out of it. As the Winston, this is a weird choice. I say it's a weird choice, but I mean, maybe they know what they're doing. So as the Winston's diving them, the Genji counter dives. It's well, and then the Genji dives with the Winston. He only gets one pick, but again, guys, this is 2 CP. This pick is huge. So as the Reinhardt gets, he killed the Genji. The Roadhog, he gets a hook. He almost dies for it, but almost doesn't matter. Well, nope, he does die for it. And at this point, this is crazy. So the Winston drops a bubble. Zarya ults a Winston and a D.Va. The D.Va ults, so she maintains mech after this, and the Winston comes out with a fraction of health. He also killed the Reinhardt while he was getting Zarya ulted. And the reason why everyone's dying, actually, is because... remember, they lost their Ana. So look at the healing. Watch everyone's health. Reinhardt's staying low. Genji's... he got the health pack. Reinhardt's still as low as it ever was. He tries to capitalize on the Zarya ult. He gets hit in the face by, I believe it was Roadhog, and then finished by Winston. And at this point, you got 3 or 4 people that pushes over. Yeah, so it was a good pick just because on 2 CP, if you get a pick, that usually signifies a win. But it was an even better pick because it was a support, and it was like the main healer of the support too.
그게 막 엄청나게 바꾸자 막 이기려고 안 해요. 근데 대회에서 뭔가 이렇게 파이팅 있게 하고 집중한 이런 모습이 진짜 엄청납니다. 지금
웃으면서 집중하는 게 쉬운 게 아닌데
연습은 연습이니까. 예.
플레이가 좀 되고 있습니다.
아니 세벨비를 터트리는 픽을 해야 되는데 아예 트레이서는 오늘 끌리질 않네요. 지금
I just find it funny with these heavy dive comps, or at least not heavy. It's kind of heavy. That usually the answer to getting Dovan is to dive them. as we saw there. The Genji dove, or the Winston dove in. The Genji counter dove, and like the Genji counter dove. Being aggressive, it's really important to be aggressive on defense on 2CP. Here we go. They're trying that flank again. Again, Ana gets picked during the logistics. Right here, that one shot she took to heal Genji put her back by just a couple seconds. You can see where the Reinhardt shield is, right? Because of that one heal, she's over here instead of right here. And she gets hooked. It's almost the identical hook. And they gotta run. That logistics phase will kill you. If you don't move in formation, man, even the best team's low. The fuck? Who just said that? Hold on. Garmin the Grey, Chro is Bay. Man, fuck you. What are you calling me that for? A win in positioning. It is, James. That was a positioning win. Calling me Bay. Well, get out of here. So, uh-oh, the same thing gonna happen? Oh, that was such a good bubble. So here they go. Is this their first time pushing out this side? I think every time they got picked, and the other time they just ran that way. So this is the first time actually pushing out through the side. So, what did I say the dive comp does? Winston dove in as soon as they saw any aggression. Who came in next? D.Va comes in next with the defense matrix. That's what the defense matrix looks like, right? Yeah, that's it. So the Winston, about to die, he ults. As the team starts to dive on him, Reinhardt tries to bulk the rest of the team, right? He knows once Winston ults, they're kind of committing to this defense. So he just wants to stop any reinforcements from coming in, like this D.Va. Good pin. Everyone finally busts out, and as everyone busted out at that exact moment, that's when the Genji dives in with, I think he's nano boosted. It sucks that this Genji found a Roadhog that just starts healing. But as the one thing we should notice is this damn monkey's still alive. The Genji got caught by a hook. The D.Va died when she got pinned. But more importantly is this hog. No point, like little charge time on the point. The hog finishes the good, you know, a really good kill. But more importantly, this Winston is still bothering the shit out of everyone. The Winston kills the Ana. And then Roadhog kind of just comes in and says, get off my point. Oh my god. Can we just appreciate the Korean caster again? Oh, I love that. Oh, one more time. Gotta. Yeah, Korean casters. So much life. So much personality. Not like the English casters. Man, they're like pieces of cardboard. So, I want to focus on... I don't want to focus on... This Reinhardt charge, it's a little lucky, but look. He's at 69%. Reinhardt charge gets 25% from a good charge, so he got 92%. He also gets one more hammer, so he gets 98%. He gets cleaned up, and why is this so important? There is 28 seconds left, and he just got essentially 35% ult from this last-ditch effort that he from the attack. Cool use of rocket jump. So they push out a side again. I love This is one of the... I've seen this flank a couple times. Is that as everyone speed boosts out of the this room, the Zarya, she comes around this way, or at least someone else comes around this way. Reinhardt, this ult that he worked so hard for to get right before this point, gets essentially the two big targets, Genji and D.Va. More importantly, Genji and D.Va are the two people that Zarya can destroy because their defense mechanisms don't work against her. So, Kongdoo starts cleaning up. With these 3 picks and the numbers advantage, they just start picking apart everyone. The Panic May comes out. And this is when Pharah starts becoming really, really strong. Like a Widow or a Soldier in the background, they can deal out a lot of deeps while everyone's so pressured on point. Pharah does the same thing, but from above. You really have to focus on her if you want to kill her. So we notice Evermore just saving his ult. He's had it the whole time. He's just waiting in case something crazy happens. There it is. Or I should say, there it is. I was looking at the Ana ult on Pharah. Oh, Korean commentators. God damn, you guys are so good. I love him. So it's just a fancy stagger at this point. Fancy stagger. I mean, it looks complicated. We should focus on like how good of healing the supports are doing, because no one's died. This guy, Luffy, is unfazed. Man, that guy's a badass. So yeah, I mean, this is really chaotic. I actually love this. This is, as a Junkrat, like, this is what I love. It's like, notice how, like, even that bionic grenade was really good. The Ana is staying back. Ana's staying here. Lucio's just, you know, doing his normal stuff. Lucio stuff. This is really important because that was an ulted Winston, and that's why the Zarya was holding her ult. That was 1,000 hit points. The Pharah decimated in seconds. Yeah. Good focuses. Good bubbles. I mean, this is just really good play. It's hard to focus on it because this is like, it's individual skill play. Oh. Kongdoo tries some here. Oh, we'll just watch it. You thought Evermore plays Roadhog only? No, he plays other class, and he plays them well. Roadhog is just his signature. So Kongdoo's just chilling in the side room, and they just delete Roadhog. And then Evermore proceeds to delete everyone else. So it was a risky play. It does buy them time, but more importantly, it buys them ult percentage. It's like 34 from him, 77 on Evermore. He did great. 50% on Luffy. It's a really good ult advantage they have here. I mean, Roadhog, because this one was deleted right away, he's at 9%. Evermore's at 81. Or 93. Yeah, he's... This, I think,
적외선 투시예요.
다 왔어요. 이거 괜히 들어왔다가
I don't know if Lucio speed boosted him or something, but I think this hop was a obviously it was a mistake because he gets killed, but I think it was like something happened. Like I don't think he meant to do that. There we go, instant pick. At this point, 2 people were killed. Oh wait, no, that was a pick on, yeah, that was a pick on the attackers again. With 2 down, I know it only shows 1, but the Winston's still en route. He's still trying to get to the team. The Winston was a counter to the Widow. The Soldier could kind of contest the Widow. All they have now is the Diva. Other than that, this Widow has free reign. And that usually spells doom for your Anubis .1 attack. So Roadhog, but because Evermore built up ult percentage so quick, he can clear the point, which buys his team time to get back. Oh shit, Evermore. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I like that. Oh. Even the Korean sound effector, the sound effects the guys make. Oh. That's the zoom of shame. You have to understand these zooms. So this is the zoom of shame, and this is the zoom of fame. Oh. See, the zoom of shame goes like this. It goes down a little bit. The zoom of fame goes up a little bit. Alright, so back to the game. Alright, let me pull up my notes. I've actually been just freeballing it. So, what happens after the hog gets picked? At this point, we see a lot of picks happen. So we saw the Roadhog get picked right here. Maybe he was more surprised about this. Oh, that's what happened. He got double shotted. That's what happened. I think that's what he was surprised about. The Diva gets killed. That was aggressing against the Widow. Right, like I said, Widow was one of the, Diva was one of the few defenses they had against the Widow. So she kind of had to commit, because if you give Widow free reign, she's going to get picks. You kind of have to pressure her. But she got punished for, you know, pressuring. Diva gets the Winston that's diving. So like I said, the dive comp and the dive defense starts losing a lot of strength when people start dying. I would say it crumbles like after 2 picks. The dive is gone. And from that, this is classic Anubis .1, where no matter what happens, the tanks are finally going to get some picks and then push forward, and then the Widow up top is going to secure all the ground that they've had. So what we heard just there was Widow's ult. So they got a side advantage. It should be noted. So they speed boost in because of the side advantage. They saw the Winston fall, and they're like, hey, Winston no jump on the ground. Kill him. So they take him out immediately. And because of the 6-second cooldown, they pick the Diva. Oh, they're fighting. Also, it should be noted. So they got the Winston, right? They killed the Winston. Here they go. They get the Diva. Alright, they kill the Diva. And what do you know? By the time this Widow looks at midfield again, Winston's there already. That Winston pick they had, it's not even a pick, right? He's already back in combat. Soldier ults, and he just pushes everyone away. That's why dying, like aggressive defense on 2CP, when you see people dying, when they lose one out here, it's not that big of a deal. Because by the time the team actually gets to the point itself, it does give them a little bit of an advantage at first, but you're going to get reinforcements quickly. So this is why that Winston up there is playing so aggressively. In fact, I was watching this live for a little bit, and everyone, all the both English casters were criticizing how Fissure was playing. They're like, "Oh, this guy's he keeps getting picked. Like, what is he doing? He's out of position. Blah 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 blah." It's like, look, guys, it's 2CP. He can afford to get picked.
일단 라인하르트를 안 쓰고 둘 다 윈스턴으로 전쟁을 하고 있는데 이거 지금 위쪽에 와카.
So look at their defense setup. Look at this formation. It's very awkward. They got a Winston up here, Genji on the main one, Lucio's butt's right there, and then they got 3 on the pillar. That's just, it's just different.
전쟁을 하고 있는데 이거 지금 위쪽에 와카와 에버모가 다 루피 선수랑 붙어 있거든요. 위쪽에 세 명이 위치에 있었어요.
So there it is, the Winston pick again. They dive the hog, but this ult, Diva ult that gets 3. I want you guys to look at this ult. I don't think it was planned, but it's really good. It looked like it was going to get launched far, but it hit the pillar, and it dropped straight down to kill all the people in this back area. How does Roadhog get up there? Oh, this Ana. The Roadhog can get up there from here. You jump up on this rock, you jump on this rock, you jump on this rock, and from this rock you can jump on here. Right, up. Right there. Up, he's gonna do it. Right there, he just did it. So, you jump from this square pillar up to here. For those of you that asked in chat. Did Winston disappear? Yeah, that was the dead body of Winston. So there's another hook. But it's alright, it's Winston, he's good.
피샤 선수를 자르고 들어가는 것까지는 굉장히 좋은데 들어가는 타이밍에 뭐 아까 선수의 자폭각에 다 죽는다던가 좀 그 후를 예측을 못 하고 있습니다.
So poking still. This is the boring phase of combat. I don't know if LuxuryWatch is just getting ults up or what's going on. Oh, they're grouping up so they can move as one. Right. And did you see that? Did you see the Zarya? Oh man, that was a good play. That's so subtle. That's so subtle, but really damn important. This is the stuff that stats don't show. But look, as they cross this path, the Zarya jumps in front with Bubble. 1, to absorb damage, and 2, to absorb the hook if it's there. They immediately push in. The Hogs, or not the Hogs, the Winstons immediately dive each other's back lines, as does the Genji. I believe both Genjis do it. Yeah, both Genjis dive each other's back lines. And while the trades look even, any trade that's even on 2CP favors the defense. So the Roadhog gets another. At this point, it doesn't matter. Like, yes, they lost the numbers advantage, but as soon as LuxuryWatch traded evenly, with the same number of ults and the same, essentially, kills, the push is over. Genji's doing good poke here, by the way. He's damn good at building up his ult.
공격 파트는 이번 턴이 정말 위기죠. 정말 큰 위기예요. 에버모 선수가 이럴 때는 역시 에버모 선수밖에 없어 보입니다. 현재까지.
네, 이거 다공 들어옵니다. 공격 진영.
이럴 때 가야죠.
자, 위에 한번 긁었고.
그래도 아카우타 선수가 파라까지 꺼내들어서 포킹 플레이까지 해주고 있고.
So here's more focus.
계속 LW가 각을 보는 것 같은데.
Another weeb fight. Good headshots there.
네. 근데 플라워 선수도 굉장히 잘 모았어요.
그렇죠. 소리검 헤드를 맞췄어요.
벌써 70이에요.
이러면 나노용검이
So they hold up in the corner to get the whole team there. Great standard. Pretty standard stuff.
옆쪽으로 오고 있죠.
And now comes the explosion. How do they get out? So the Ana was annoying up here, and the Winston immediately just get out of here. So he knocks her on the high ground. He chases her with bubble. Same time, Zarya ults the supports, but the Lucio gets immediately hooked. And this is a pretty impressive thing. He's damn close at max health.
오고 있죠.
중력자 타이밍을 어떻게 대응할 것이냐.
자, 먼저 윗선
I want to see if he gets a second. I mean, that was like a 400 hit point shot. That was pretty good on his part. They do lose the two supports. And while it looks really bad right now, Genji ult. Actually, that was an offense. My bad. So the Genji makes. There it is. There's the Genji ult. That's offensive. We can see at this point it's a 2v2, and what have we said about that? It favors defense. Pharah ults the Zarya. The Genji also, both Genjis ulted. That's why I'm confused. Gets to Ana, and at this point, there's like, yeah, you get another kill, but what does it matter? He gets whipped on the low ground. At this point, it's a Winston versus the team. And he just dies. Man, trades are so important on 2CP. So damn important. But again, just because that was like me, sometimes I feel like I commentate more than I actually analyze. So the big thing to notice here is, again, they're just butting heads. I mean, really. Every time they jump a Winston in, the defense just jumps a Winston in again. And they're just going for trades. Even with Zarya ult and all that stuff. Like, both Lucio's ult. Roadhog still gets the support. They still get the support. Alright, there's the other support. Right here, all the supports in the game are dead. It's just, I don't like this way of playing Overwatch. I think, so the problem, why I say I don't like this aspect of Overwatch is because if we talk about strength, yes, they're doing the same thing. Yes, they're doing a dive comp, but all they're doing is they're just going against each other. They're doing the same damn thing. And all this is saying is, like, I hope this number is bigger. Like, I'm pushing with 100 strength, and you're pushing with 90, therefore I win. But the respawn advantage, right? So even if you are better than them, if you suffer any, like, if you do anything worse than them at this point in time, they're going to win because of the reinforcements. I would like to see something drastically change. Like, the Winston, instead of engaging and leaping all the way in, just leap up. Force their team to leap 2 in, and then just drop down, put a bubble that separates the dive off, use all 6 to kill the 2 in the bubble, and then push out. It's just fucking shit tactics. I don't like it when people do same. Whenever you recognize the strategies are going to be the same, and you're counting on doing it better, like you're just going to win more fights, without using any tactics or anything, it's just a poor decision. Never bet on you being the strongest, ever.
그러다가 들어가다 괜히 에버모한테 갈고리 한번 맞아서 끊겨도 그대로 한 명 없이 시작을 해야 되는 거기 때문에 굉장히 또 불리해지고요.
이야 이거
멀리서 일단 포킹부터 시작.
So,
나노용검이
어디로 오는지 보이죠?
테라가 나노용검이
does he get a hook? He was looking for that logistics phase attack,
뭐 이런 게 그렇다면 변수가 될 수 있는데
but they avoid it.
이거 수비치가 확실히 유리한 상황입니다. 저 상황도
이러면 들어왔어요.
아니
넌 강해졌다.
자, 너 들어간다.
여기 맞는
Oh,
이걸로 돌 하나 더.
so this is a really good start. Or no, sorry. Genji just fucked them up.
확실히 유리한 상황입니다.
So they get an instant pick on the defense. But I think once they heard the hook was down,
수비치가 확실히
like there's the hook. I don't think there's anything in the game that could really like nullify a Genji at this point. Besides even the Winston, he's doing half damage. I like this Pharah play. The Pharah came out and under and flanked. While the Genji, while they're all distracted with the Genji. Yeah, as soon as the Genji gets 3, it's over. Then they clean up.
이거 피셔가 앞에 나가서 원시의 분노수가 못 오게
So GG Prax, that's a good question. Why do you think the pro team stick to such vanilla strats and never try something more dynamic? One, dynamic attacks are incredibly difficult to pull off. Two, time. So these guys are out of time. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we're just gonna watch the game end here. Oh, I think they touched the point, but it just kind of. So the more complex a strategy is, the easier it has a chance of messing up. So what happens is if we call something simple, it doesn't like people think that as a bad thing. Right, when I call something simple, they're like, "Oh, don't you look down on this." But if we think about like boxing, boxing's a very simple fighting style. It has very few techniques, and while people be like, "Oh, are you shit talking?" I'm like, "No, that make it extremely strong." When you have a few techniques and you do them extremely well, you can always do them well. The problem is if you try to do some crazy ass tactics, it just exploits more chances for things to go wrong. Now, if you can pull it all off at the same time, then yes, there's a lot of strength in that. But also, the more convoluted your tactics are, usually the more time it takes, not only to learn as a team, but also to implement. So maybe you can get like 7 or 8 brutish attacks off, like just pushing in as best you can and attacking from a side that you think is good. And maybe like you throw one thing like, oh, Zarya flank. Like that's quite simple. That can get, that can be done easily. Doing like 5 or 6 of those attacks is better than like trying to do something very complex 4 times. So with this,
프레이서나 뭘 바꿔오면 한 번 더 비빌 수 있습니다, 블루.
안 돼요. 시간이 적고 이거 피셔가 앞에 나가서 원시의 분노수가 못 오게 날려가지고
I'm just going through my notes so you can watch this last attack again.
추가 시간을 만들었습니다.
그런데 라노가지 누나서 모아야 되는데
안 되겠는데요. 못 뚫겠는데요.
계속 쫓는데 아무리 죽어도 계속 밟아야죠.
희망이 이제 거의 없죠.
네, 세벨비
메카도 파괴되고 소백비가 있습니다만은
아프다요. 추가 시간
결과적으로 스틸이 다 빠지면 들어갈 수가 없고요.
온다요. 지금
Okay. Oh, there's also one other point I wanted to make. Where is it at? So this nano blade that wiped him out, right here, we can see Genji just get 100% here. If we look back to their last attack, he actually ults again. Right, this was their last attack. And before their last attack, look, he's at 0%, but he builds a lot of ult. I believe on the Roadhog. He's up at 15, 20%, 21, 24, 30, he's 45%, 50%. So he built a lot of charge up on that on the Roadhog. But 50% still, like, isn't going to get him the ultimate. But during this poke phase, like, he gets some good shots there. He gets up to 62%. His ability to, like, passively gain up this ult charge is quite good. Like, he's at 75% now. 84%. This is something very subtle. He's up at 93% now. So he built up an ult charge because of the Roadhog was left to the last enemy, and I think he soloed him. I doubt LuxuryWatch was expecting a Genji ult again. I think that's what caught him off by surprise here. Yeah, that's something. I think I would say it's underappreciated a lot. Oh, the fangirl is so good.
와우.
온몸으로 사자우를 날리셨거든요.
네, 그렇죠. 와우.
목에는 도라지 이런 게 좋습니다.
So 1 second. Let me just run to the bathroom real quick. Dude! Alright, we're back. I wanted that one to be real quick. Pow! Checo nuts. What are you doing, chat? What was chat been doing? I don't look at chat that much. When I do these reviews, I look at it every now and then. What are you guys up to? You guys behaving yourselves? Gohan, what's your question? What's your question, Gohan? Come on, spit it out. We're on a timer, guys. We're on a timer. We're not really on a timer. We're on a timer. There's a lot of Chro love hype way back. Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't see any question. I didn't see any questions, Gohan. Alright, Gohan, you fucking with me? You wanna get timed out again? You wanna get timed out again? You fucking with me? Alright. Yeah, he's got 10 seconds to ask this question. Oh, basically, what is the best all? What is the best all? That's what you're giving me? And, oh man. He asked it. What is the best all? It's Zarya, probably. Zarya Reinhardt. The fact that they give their teammates ultimates and it can hit a huge team, like it's a large AoE, and it builds other teammates' ultimates.
얼굴 표정. 얼굴 표정 이게
It's pretty. It's really strong.
네, 얼굴 표정 이게 또 중요한 거예요, 반대로.
네, 아니라고 싶어도요. 바로 일주일 전에 겪었었던 그 악몽은 바로 잊혀지는 거예요.
You want to say Widowmaker? Widowmaker's is really good, but
떨어질 뻔했죠. 역행.
it only lasts for 10 seconds. I mean, it's strong, but oh, this is hilarious.
화살 맞고
음파 화살에 모든 게 긁혀버린.
한번 체크.
그 이후 메타가 4강까지 올라간 거예요. 다시 올라오겠죠? 그렇죠.
Clutcho. I haven't heard a Korean guy say, "Ooh, Clutcho."
네.
게임 제대로 하지 안 그러면
So that was a very clutch recall. More importantly, what the fuck's Kongdoo doing? I want to say this is retaliation for Kongdoo doing it on Anubis, where they just hid and they just attacked him. My question is, alright, now, Seaweed's asking the questions. Bean or no bean chili? I like both. No bean chili is really good, though. What kind of defense is this? I really think this is just like, hey guys, they hit around the corner on Anubis. God damn it! Let's hide around the corner on them on Route 66. And what happens? Widow just pieces out. It's like, hey, I'm in spawn. And this, I didn't even analyze this. I'm just like, this attack just did not, or this defense just doesn't work. The Widow gets a pick. Here's the problem. They didn't pick the Widow. And so what that means is as they retreat, Widow is just chilling, dealing out the deeps. I mean, Tracer has a pulse bomb, but that was on the attack. Or, I mean, that was on the defense. The Widow gets 2 more kills, and then they finally get the Tracer. So, what's the bad part about this? Well, you kind of gave up the first corner really easily. Secondly, you kind of made this more attack versus defense when, instead of being the attackers, like, now the defense is the attackers. Because now the defense has to get through these choke points. And they have to go through that just to get to you to defend this. So, also, ult percentage. Kongdoo's at 63, 51, 68, 22, 81, 66. These guys are at 35, 43, 33, 6, 13, and 39. Big ol' ult percentage victory here, and now they have to get through the chokes. Like, tactically it's bad, ult percent wise bad, morale is bad. This is what happens when you do risky stuff like that. No, I think they did it, like, in a jokingly way. They're just like, ah, screw these guys, we can beat them, let's do it this way. So one thing we should notice, well, let's notice it a little bit later. Oh no, that's a different attack, sorry. Ult advantage comes into play. Everyone just gets wiped. There's not much to talk about there. They had no counterplay against a Genji with an ult that quick against 4 squishies. Especially, like, yeah, he dies instantly. He dies instantly. She dies instantly. Yeah, it's a tough. You know, don't have a stupid defense. That's the lesson here, guys. It gives more away than just time.
그렇죠. 그래서 저에게 물어봤었죠. 왜 그 위치에서 싸움을 프로들 안 하냐. 처음에 물어보셨잖아요. 이래서입니다. 그 3대6의 싸움 이렇게 리스폰이
쭉 밀리니까.
그렇죠. 하이 리스크죠.
그렇죠. 우리 저기서 맞긴 합니다만. 저기서 물론
So here we go. They should have a proper defense, right? Point 2 should have a proper defense.
때문에 훨씬 유리해지는데 이런 식으로 답이 없어져요.
야노 선수가 그래도 집중을 잘해주고 있긴 하거든요.
But so the offense, they nano boost Genji. He doesn't have an ult yet, but they're just using him to it builds ult faster, and well, he can just kill people. So he demechs, he gets a demech, and he gets a pick on Tracer. Now, when they try to Nano Blade to counter this, Lucio's ready because of the ultimate disadvantage that they occurred on the first point. Lucio has his ultimate. So they kind of nullify that ult there. Also, they kind of make him pay. From here, it's just a numbers advantage. So, that poor defense they had is still affecting them. It's probably like waning now. But even then, like the Genji has his ult again. That first defense, it really ripples its effect throughout the entire game. Not the entire game, but for the first couple parts, it definitely does. So I don't know if anyone caught that. Now this was it's a cute thing to do. Right, they dash the Genji out, and they're going to dash the Tracer out as well. Oh yeah, there's a Tracer. I think she dashed out this way. So what this does is it puts armies on the flank, while the rest of the armies try to get out this choke point. So, see, they have to provide some attention this way, instead of everyone just looking at this. See, look, even the Zarya's, if nothing else, look how frantic she's looking left and right. This is why having mobile heroes is really good, and having them out in the field buys your team so much. Like, they don't have the peace of mind of just looking at the choke point. She has to worry about everything now. So they bust out of the choke. They do it the strong way, just with everything. The flanking Tracer misses her ult. The Winston got slept. Here comes the ult. And they get a couple. While there's a Winston in the background ulting on people. Genji gets, or Roadhog gets a whip off. And now it's back on point. At this point, Kongdoo does have a bit. So it's 3v2. After all these exchanges, it's Winston, Tracer against two supports, and sorry, that's her name. And what happens? Tracer starts doing work. Tracer gets Lucio. Lucio gets the Winston, but oh, Tracer gets slept. But setting that up took time, and Genji out of nowhere just erases her. So if nothing else, like just staying on point. At this point, I would have to time it to see what spawn is closer. But I think the time is slowly starting to favor the defense here, just by a smidge, maybe a couple seconds. But that matters a lot, because the couple seconds they waited on the sleeping Tracer, everything else, it starts to add up. Yeah. So the reinforcements come and they get a cleanup. Overall, it was a very messy point. Tactically, it's hard to say much. Like, the Zarya Genji ult was great, but it only caught 2. While in the back lines, the Winston gets a couple picks, so does the Hog. They use any ults? No, the defense only had Winston and Lucio ult. So for having 2 of the lesser strong ults, I think they did really well. They did a lot of delaying. This Tracer just constantly dashing around there. At this point, I think they're focusing more on delaying than killing, but they're doing both at the same time. We can just fast forward though, because after this, it's a bit of a cleanup. This is where we left off. The Tracer is still in the back lines. She went, came back on attack. She couldn't get anything after her allies died, so she's just being a nuisance in the back lines. Which is great, because you can do shit like this. Just delete someone from the game. while the Genji and the Winston start killing the Tracer. Oh, this is one of my favorite deaths I've ever seen. Genji, it looks like he gets stung in the ass by a bee. He's just like, ah! Something bit me in the ass! That's right, it was a widow. So Tracer gets lost. She, bit off more than she could chew. Lost the Tracer duel. I like this, how the Winston's up high. They're semi-surrounded. Like, whatever you can do to put more pressure on more points is usually good. Winston gets headshotted once. Headshotted twice. Damn, that guy's good. But Widow gets chased down by a Genji. Tracer makes an unfortunate dash into Genji's ultimate. While on point, they just clean up. Yeah. Again, I think, let me look back at this. So, while the Winston's up here, and again, it's good play on the Tracer. So the Winston goes up here, and right now the only thing on the cart is a Tracer. So they're pushing it right now. Tracer's on it. She's contesting. This contention allows Winston to get on there. Like, she's still contesting right now. It's the Tracer that's stopping it. Until the Winston gets there with Bubble. And then everyone can break off. Right? DPS kind of held the cart, and then the tanks got on it. They're like, alright, DPS, do what you need to do. Which I like. That's it uses all your resources. They finally get rid of the Widowmaker, which I agree with. Going against Tracer, Genji, Winston, that's a hell of a hard. So, I was looking at this, and Tracer takes a lot of damage. A lot of damage here. The Tracer dove. She tries to get the Ana, but she takes, she's at 48 health now. And I don't know if she's waiting to get health from someone, but no one comes to save her. So this Tracer, while she's up front with low health, she can't duel anyone. The light classes on the other side, the Genji Tracer, they dive the back lines. They clear the back lines, and with this Tracer out of commission, I mean, look, she's still low health. The entire fight has happened. So, she couldn't assist the Ana up here that's going to get killed, right? Right there, she gets killed. A defensive sound barrier. This, the mobile units, they dive, right? So as everyone's putting pressure on here, this is becoming so common. It's almost becoming so common, like, I just hear myself repeating myself over and over and over. Anytime the cart gets dove, they put a couple people on the cart, and they allow the squishies to flank. And the squishies get the Ana, they get the McCree. They're going to get the Lucio here. And the Zarya that's en route from getting hurt gets killed. And that Tracer still wasn't doing anything. She's doing something now, but it was pretty bad. It was essentially a 5v5, even though they got an early pick. They should hear this. Oh man, Tracer's making so much noise right now. So good move on Tracer and Winston's part. They picked Diana. As that happens, the attacking team was already in. They Zarya ult, and they whiff. Look how close this is to whiffing. Doesn't hit anyone. And from here, the lines are kind of established. We see a red player here. Lucio jumped down. And Tracer's in the back lines. Roadhog attempts, and it's looking good for them. It's looking good for the defense. But here's one thing that changed. The Genji goes in. There's a Genji, or there's an Ana in here, and there's a Genji, and they're going to try to kill a Winston. They almost kill him. But what happens? He ults. And Winston inside a building is the most annoying thing in the world to fight. Because he just puts you against the wall and just beats the shit out of you. And that's what he does. He beats up the Ana. The Winston's the unsung hero in this fight. You don't really notice him. But he kills the Ana and the Genji and keeps both of them busy. While everything on the card's happening. Yep. Yep. I mean, that's the gist of this. The other thing is that the Tracer on Kongdoo, he two clips the Winston right there. That was pretty good. From there, in the Winston in the high ground, he gets 2 more kills, and it's a 3v6. Shortly comes a 1v5 or a 1v6, and you know they get it. But they were held pretty hard. It was a damn good defense by LuxuryWatch. She just tries to delay the Reinhardt. That type of play, I'm not against. I don't hate it. It's not the best, but it's Tracer. She can get her ult back pretty quick. This is another point that I wish I would hear what the team was thinking. Something happened, but Genji got his ult. Like, I don't see anything that Kongdoo did to warrant this push outside of they breached the corner. Maybe it was the anti-heal got someone. But it causes a nano blade to come out, in which case they clean up. It's also a good idea to use a couple ults because they have so little time that delaying them this one time will probably limit them to one last attack. Now here's a really cool... You see how the Roadhog's putting pressure on this side? And it allows the soldier up here to put pressure on that side. A very slight move that I like a lot, because as the Reinhardt's pushing the shield this way, what the Roadhog is going to do is he's going to take this line right here and take it. Right? He's going to make anyone feel this side of the line unsafe. And so as this happens, the soldier's going to come up here, and he's going to take this line. And he's going to use this bar and some other boxes as cover, and he's going to take the next angle. So this zigzagging of angles to walk up with the cart, but also support with just fear of death from damage. That constant support allows the soldier to get up here where he's going to be ulting in a couple seconds. It's a cool way. See how the Genji came up here? The Genji came up here and came down too. Like, he's just strengthening this angle, right? And as you can see, the Roadhog is pushed away. And then the soldier, again, is going to push deeper. I guess it would look like that with the next angle. And this is a cool dynamic of how to get space. Right, see, and here's the soldier. You see, the Hog pushed this angle to make it safe, and now he's pushing out the next one. In fact, he pushes it out to the point where he can ult by jumping over the Reinhardt shield. He does good work. He doesn't get he only gets credit for one, but he heavily damages 3 people. He kills one, and his teammates clean up the other 2. And now, the final push. Kills are worth double, baby. Already, the attackers have this truck. That's really goddamn important. Where are they at? I know they have it. Here's the soldier. He's fighting. It's a 2v2. 2v2 on this side, I believe. So Genji's dive, they get a DPS, the other one gets a healer. And then all this shit just immediately breaks out. Reinhardt gets his ult blocked. It was really close. I'm surprised that actually happened. And the other Reinhardt gets 3 people. Watch this Genji. Oh, here we go. Who's the guy that told me to slow it down? This Genji, as he's deflecting. Whoa. He's going to run right into the Reinhardt ult. So does the Zarya. Yeah, 3 people just ran straight into it. There you go. I used it. This sets him up super nice on the point. Oh, good one. That was actually a really good hook on Mei in the charge, just to finish her off immediately. The Zarya ult's too late. There's too many people that cleaned up the Genji ultimate. Too strong. The truck is a sleeping Optimus Prime. Luffy. Oh, this is the first time I saw him smile. So, as LuxuryWatch comes out this time, now LuxuryWatch's on attack, they Sonic Arrow this just to check that no one's doing anything sneaky. No. It would be Kongdoo if they didn't try something sneaky. So they actually do try something sneaky. They got a Tracer Genji here and they're looking for a pick. But notice, it's a Tracer Genji. There's no Winston, and Zarya is the only thing that can really save him with a bubble, right? So this is quite a fragile attempt. And without a Winston, without like a Zarya knowing to bubble you at the time, this happens. So Genji gets picked immediately. Zarya is forced back from the Widow shots. Lucio kills the Tracer that was diving. And then from there, it just goes to hell. Again, Kongdoo gets caught being sneaky. And so now it's the same thing on the other foot. Right? Now they have to get through these choke points, and it's like they're playing attack. They're a victim to LuxuryWatch's formation. But they bust out really quick, really strong. I mean, that was a hell of a push out. Like, damn, that was what? Like 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, like a 3-second. Like, they really screwed people up. They didn't even have time to back out. They do back out barely. And at best, they get a couple trades. Well, they get 1 trade. But the bigger problem at hand is, while they have the cart, what people don't understand, well, yes, they did defend the cart. The problem is they let the cart get this far, and now people can come this way. People can come main path, and most importantly, the far right flank has now been opened. This this is the cost of losing the first, like losing the dive and losing the positioning advantage, is that everyone is so focused about being on cart that they're forgetting about the flanks. And remember what I told you guys about flanks, or at least with defensive formation, as the defense backs up, flanks will appear. That's true to most every map. Let me just quickly bring up King's Row. Right? So if we look at the first point, your first point of defense is here, usually. And this flank is open, but it's weak. But as soon as you drop back to the second point, then this flank opens. These two flanks open. And as you drop back to the third point, these flanks open. 1, 2, like everything opens once you get there. And then as we go down to the second point, a lot of teams defend here. Why? This is a rather long flank. It takes a lot of time, and you would see them right here. But there's really no flanks open. The next point of defense is usually like right here. In which case, this flank is now open. This doesn't even exist. This still kinda, it doesn't really exist, but it kinda does. And then once you get pushed back here, this flank opens, this flank is open, high ground opens, a lot happens. The second point, or the last point, like people try to defend here, here, and then last, where they don't want to get to. You know, the final points are usually favored in defensive sides, on the defensive side. So there's no flanks open here. But once you get pushed back here, you can get attacked from the high ground. You can get pushed through here a little bit. And then once you lose this, once you're on the final point, that's when people can come around this way, and main. So as defensive formations fall backwards, flanks open. And that's what happened here. As the defensive formation fell back here, all these flanks opened. Well, the main path and the two flanks.
루나 선수가 이제 또 나노가 모였고 상대방은 이제 겐지 외에는 뭉쳐 있는 영웅들이다 보니까 야노스 선수를 좀
And what makes it really dangerous here
한 번도 안 나오네요.
is that Widow just ulted. And so while flanks are open, see here they are. Look, everyone's so worried about this way, and the Reinhardt's right here. What aren't they watching? That fucking hog. And with Widow's sight, like, he's not going to miss. Right, he can see exactly what's happening. He knows the Zarya's running back. So as they keep pressuring this way, and he gets another pick, because they can't cover the back flank. He gets a third kill. And then he puts the fourth against the wall and gets him killed. The Hog just cracked the defense there because everyone was so focused on the Widow, her ult, and the rest of the team. That's a good hook. That the flanking Roadhog. And this is why I say the 5-1 flank is the strongest thing in the game. Meaning you have 5 people on one side pushing, and it requires so much attention that you forget about the one. You're right here, Miss Kennedy? Thanks for stopping around, man. Or ma'am.
확실한 그 적중률이라든지 컴도 라인하르트 우클릭을 한번 쏘고 가운데를 타이밍에 당기는 거 너무 좋고요.
우리 아군들이 뭔가 주눅들어 보이는 플레이를 하니까 세벨비아 플라워 선수가
So the Hog got a quick Reinhardt kill, which kind of opens up this first point defense. Oh, and this part. Look at this hook. Here we go. We're going slow-mo. Whoa, 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 whoa. People would say that's clearly a shield defense, right? But, as Junkrat players, what do we know? We know that Tyre measures damage from center of mass. That's why if there's a Tyre up here, it does less damage because Reinhardt's center of mass between his feet is farther away. So what we can assume is that while the Genji may be laying down on the ground, his center of mass is still where he got slept between his feet, which is where he gets hooked. Oh, Sly, I barely discovered your channel 2 weeks ago, and I'm a big fan of these reviews. Well, thank you. Thanks for joining me. So, from Junkrat play, we can infer why this fucker got hooked. What a hook that was. And remember, if you hook any part of the model, even if it's behind the shield, the hook will still... No, if you hook them... If the character's laying down like this and the Reinhardt shield is here, remember that just because it hooks here, it's going to hook the center of mass because that's how the animation is. So that's why it looks glitchy. That's why it looked like the hook went through the shield. Truth is, it didn't. Zarya ult. This is... I appreciate how quick of reaction time these Reinhardts have. Like, the Zarya ult happened, and the Reinhardt charges. The other Reinhardt immediately charged again. So they both cancel each other out. Lucio ult to cover the damage. Counter Lucio ult to cover the damage. Zarya ults, and what's the big difference here? The big difference is that this Hog kills this Reinhardt with a shot. Why does that matter? Right here. What an earth shatter. He got most of what was going to kill his team. And then he has his shield up to kill the... Or to block the D.Va ult. From here, Genji tries to be a hero with 30 health. Let's just watch this because I enjoy Genji's getting the shit kicked out of him. 31 health. It's gonna work. No, it does not. It's not gonna work. So this was really good play on the... I credit this entire victory to the Reinhardt. I mean, not the entire thing, but the Roadhog gets an important pick. Because as you know, he's at 97%. So now he's at ult. He could ult any second now, and he gets one. He gets killed from Roadhog. Good stun. Unfortunate on the Zarya that she was right in front of it. But it gets the job done. Oh. She's just getting... Oh, man. That Zarya just got teased to death. Because that Zarya was so far out staggered, they actually have no chance of defending the rest of the point. Oh! The old missile defense. Yeah, Genji got smacked good. Makes me feel happy. So a single pick, again, we talked about this on King's Row, how a single pick will make you lose all your ground. LuxuryWatch has the back all the way out to the entrance. Everyone keeps shooting the damn guns. Keeps making noise. Hog flanks. He tries to get a hook. And this is the start of an interaction. So that was really quick. But a... Oh, I kicked my mouse. Kicked my mouse. So as Reinhardt, or as Roadhog attempts to flank, this Reinhardt comes out of nowhere and hammers down everyone inside. The Reinhardt gets slept, and it actually calls out... Oh, this Roadhog getting nano boosted. Here's the craziest part. We're gonna slow it down again, boys. Oh, we're gonna slow it down. So this is all going. This is all going. Reinhardt ults, and look what happens behind him. Here's a McCree. Here's the defensive McCree. And then here's a McCree. A McCree was up here. An offensive McCree dropped down and kills the other McCree. I don't know if he saves anyone, but I mean, it's a pretty badass move. He was hiding up here. He came down, he flashbanged him, and killed the McCree. And now from here, that room is still in contention, right? This This Reinhardt, see how he's backing up? This defensive Reinhardt is backing up this way. So while all this is going on in this room, what they actually do, LuxuryWatch busts out the side. See how they ignore everyone and they bust out the side and they kill everyone out here? The Reinhardt is still, it happens so fast, the Reinhardt is still backing up. He gets his shield broken and then he has to just back out. This causes a rout. Zarya is a bit of a panic ult. Not only that, but she gets killed. So it's the worst of all worlds. She got staggered, she used an ult, and yeah, it was bad. But this was a really cute play. This immediate, as the team's all here, right? Why fight through the Reinhardt shield? You know people are on cart. Get out, kill everyone on cart, and then circle around and get the Reinhardt again. I think this was really well played by them. Ah, the stagger. That was just a goddamn good play. Like, this is so, this little, like, whip out is so fucking important. I can't tell you how important this is. Reinhardt ult gets slept. Alright, they just nullified a Reinhardt ult. They nano boost, and, like, it's like, alright, the McCree died, but do you really want to go through a shield with nano boost or anything else? No. So why? Go the passive least resistance. Lucio calls out, someone's on cart. Guess what? You got 3 guys here that can fuck people up real quick that are on cart. Not only does Road have ult, but it looks like Zarya is so charged up, it looks like she has nano boost. Like, that's a Zarya. That's not a Hog. She's fully charged. Hog melts instantly. Shield goes down again right away. Lucio speed boosts them out to kill everyone during the rout. It's little stuff like that that essentially opened up this entire point. Great hook on Hog. Great ult. He's just waiting for it. And then another. They had every single advantage. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4 ults. I'd consider that a 4th ult. 4 ults versus none. Well, they're gonna get one right here. Maybe Lucio ult will get there in time. At this point, it's like up to LuxuryWatch to lose. But they don't. They actually got so many ults they can't. Stun 3 people. Clean up them, including the the nano boosted target. Yeah. That was good. I like this. He gives him a handshake. He's like, no! No, give me another handshake. That was not good enough. Oh, and he denies him the second handshake. Disgraceful. Luffy's fucking pissed. I want to see that kid smile one day. So here we are. Just to let everyone know, 2-1. LuxuryWatch wins next if they win this round. It's 1 minute versus 3 minutes and 54 seconds or 34 seconds. A little bit sneaky stuff, but it's a lot safer than the sneaky stuff that was in here. They turned the corner? Nothing. Aw. What? Offensive hook lands. Now this is a cute play by this Tracer. She doesn't get punished. She could have got killed. But she's wasting a lot of time. Right, so this little stint that pushed out, they're down to, is that 30? Yeah, they're down to 30 seconds now. As this happens, Let me get my notes. This hog, you're not going to see it. We can slow it down.
Aiming's overrated.
Oh, actually, we can't even slow it down. That's right. It's not even shown. Come on, 480p. So we can see the Roadhog here and the Reinhardt here. You're going to hear a really good hook. The Roadhog just slightly sidesteps him. The problem is the quality's... So the Winston's on him, and while the Reinhardt is busy with the Winston, he gets hooked. This is a great way to use like a flank to distract. That Roadhog was just pushing up, looking for just any little opening. And because of the Tracer, so I always told people, look at this. I always say be careful when going between the spawn room and the combat, let's say. Right? Because if someone's dead, if you don't really memorize who's dead when, you're likely to get caught from behind. But that Roadhog that's hurt, like she or he, Tracer, is very knowledgeable about him being there. Also, that little stint that Tracer did way back here that we talked about before, it caught, like, the Roadhog's still not in battle yet. The Reinhardt died, the Ana's died, everyone's dying, and now the Roadhog is finally in combat. Right, it's too late. That little flank really did well. And this is... People say LuxuryWatch played against... They played against Evermore, right? Evermore here. They didn't play against Evermore, they played against the Roadhog being in there, in which case they run mobile heroes and dance around them, because Roadhog's a slow target. They did this on Oasis. They did it to a slightly lesser extent on King's Row. But running these constant quick heroes against Roadhog, if you can't hook them and they draw them out of position, there's nothing Roadhog can do. Yeah, Evermore had very little to do on this point. Oh, he doesn't even get the luxury of killing Tracer at the end. But yeah, so this little play right here, this little quip, this dive for Tracer, Evermore should have not followed. He's gonna heal here. Yep, here he goes, he just healed. And he's still coming forward. She sees this, puts a couple bullets in him. By the time Evermore gets back to battle, look. You wouldn't know this if you didn't look carefully, but this was a 5v6. That's how the Tracer wanted it. Yeah, his own tension got him killed there. I told you guys, people really, even the best players out there will die to their own tension, right? They were so focused on the Tracer kill. I mean, you're not gonna catch her, right? It's really rough chasing her down. He may have gotten her on the last hook. If we look at this carefully, if we're looking specifically at the Tracer Roadhog interaction. So right there, like, this was probably what he was hoping for, getting a hook right here, but didn't get it. Yeah, his own tension of chasing her down, because we can actually see the Ana. The Ana's actually going to grenade him as well, I believe. So if we look at his health in the top right, he's pretty low. And then we hear that crash sound. Look, we heard the Ana bionic grenade, but no one here is healed. They don't look like they're boosted in healing. I think she used it on the Roadhog, which means she didn't get to use it on that Reinhardt that was dead or dying. that one little interaction costs a lot. And when you're dealing with 1 minute left, you can't afford those mistakes. So the rest of it, they get a numbers advantage and they clear them off. It's a good idea they ran a Mei. I like the Mei here. Do I think Junkrat will always see pro play? Maybe. Eventually. What I think is going to happen, I think the Death Ball meta is going to come back a little bit. And as people group up to extreme and like very extreme circumstances, I think Junkrat may be played. But it's a long shot. So yeah, so they got they're running a Mei. It's a good choice. The problem is they're running 3-2-1. I would consider it 3-2-1, and the Mei is the 1. Which means they don't have a hit scan. If you don't have a hit scan, this tends to lead Pharah out to play. And LuxuryWatch is using it's a bit of a dive comp, which is dive and then Roadhog. So they're just looking for a pick, and this is what you need to do with something this close. Just get 1 or 2 man advantage and just turn it into a win. The hook looked good, but the counter hook was better. So at this point, I think is when they notice, look, there's no hit scan. That calls for a Pharah. Also, if they ever try to get close to the edge back here, you can just boop them off. It's also a really rough angle for anyone to get around. Anyone over here has a hard time shooting Pharah if she's on this side of the cliff, and she has this very tight angle. So the Winston and the Tracer dive, they're just trying to get something. They're trying to find some sort of pick. It's a bit messy. Pharah does get picked off by Mei, funny enough. Azaria dies, and they're trying to stabilize, but this constant pressure from the Tracer is just great. Constantly make them... if you constantly force out decisions, they will make wrong decisions eventually. The more decisions and the more complex you make something, the more chance they have of making a mistake, and that's what you gotta capitalize on. So Mei dies to the Pharah. And now there's little to nothing that can happen. Evermore is being sneaky. Maybe he could have been used up at the front. It's questionable. They get nothing from that ult. Reinhardt dies in the back. Pharah picks another one, and now starts the problems. Pharah gets 2, but the respawn is right there. Winston gets Ana boosted. Winston just trying to hit anyone. And this cute little play at the end. Aww. This all came down to just eventually getting picks. Before we even see the ending. The Winston jumps on, makes him make some decisions. The Reinhardt gets pulled. He gets hooked and then killed by Tracer. They can't follow up with anything. And then right here is where it's downhill. Let's just Tracer dodge. Oh, what a good dodge. We should just appreciate that a little bit more. Roadhog's gonna hook her. Nope, get the monkey. Oh shit, what'd I do? It's a bit... Tactically, it's not sound, but that's all you need to do on this stuff. Just get a pick. I mean, for holding... Here's the thing. They held it for 2 minutes up to this point. That's pretty damn good. Like, that's impressive with that defense. Black Moody, hey man, you saw your stream on YouTube vids, let me hear, becoming a huge fan. Alright, well, thanks for stopping by. And with that, LuxuryWatch wins. Oh, his wrist is hurt?
정말 지난번에 공동 세라에게 그렇게 아쉽게 멘탈적으로 패배를 하고 오늘 진짜 완벽하게
Yeah, that's it, boys.
누구에게 갑니까? 방송 해도 돼.
이렇게
Whoa! Whoa, getting a little funky there, man.
예, 현실 루시우란 이런 것이다.
Come on, let's see the other one. Yeah. They're just pissed. They're all upset.
그렇게 멘탈 케어라든지 브리 케어를 해줄 수 있는 게 이렇게나 중요하다는 걸 다시 한번 볼 수 있는 장면이었네요.
자, 그리고 이렇게 승리에
Oh, well.
양지가 있다.
This was the losers bracket, so Kongdoo is now out. They're gone. Luxury Blue advances. Gonna break the roof again, boy. Yeah, that was kind of funny. I mean, overall, they were good games. A lot of it. So Route 66, LuxuryWatch had a huge advantage. They dominated that one. That was really good on their part. Anubis was close. It's Anubis. And they also don't have the patch that made spawns longer when you hold the point. So that one could have went either way. On King's Row, both capped in overtime. I think that was a close one. That was a very close game on both sides. And Elios was a bit of a smackdown. So, I think LuxuryWatch, I think they outdid them this time. They really proved that they were the better team. 2 maps, I think they won handedly. Anubis is a shit show. I don't even like judging teams on that map. And then King's Row was quite even. So with an even, something I don't care about, and then 2 maps where they clearly saw that they're better. Yeah, I like LuxuryWatch a lot more. And they did some sneaky stuff, but they added it in very minutely. Kongdoo, they tried sneaky stuff way too often. And they did that stuff where they tried sneaky things and they're like, the only way we can do this is just try more sneaky things. And they got called over and over and over. That, and while a lot of people say they played against Evermore, they actually played against the Roadhog pick. And not Evermore. And by that, they played against his lack of mobility. They didn't play against them so much. I mean, they were a lot cleaner on the tricks that Kongdoo likes to make. But Evermore definitely I don't like saying anyone depends on the team depends on any one person, but Evermore is definitely a big part of them. Kongdoo's good at dive comp and good at Roadhog stuff because they like getting a man pick and they snowball from there, and they do it very well. But the Tracer and the Genji they ran against the Roadhog was what sealed Roadhog's fate. On Oasis, they separated him from this team because his team was mobile and Roadhog wasn't. When Roadhog went low ground, they would go high ground because they had the increased mobility with Winston and D.Va. They used mobility on him on King's Row, 1 to win the match in overtime, and then 2 they caught him out that one time on the high ground. That allowed them to push the second point to victory. So I think it was a good win for LuxuryWatch. I think they'd be happy with this win. Yeah, so the next one I want to do, are there any questions? But the next one I want to do will be, it's going to be this. I mean, I'm already watching it. All right, this is next. Runaway versus LuxuryWatch Blue. Mr. Venus Star, you said they want to expand their skill set if they want to come back and win. Well, I mean, you gotta realize they made it pretty damn far. I mean, they made it out of group stages. They made it out of the round 1 upper bracket. Meta Athena did. I didn't see this game. It looks like Meta Athena put them in their place. And then they lost against LuxuryWatch Blue. I think they need to sharpen up their slow push, and they'd be fine. They do need to stop with the sneaky stuff. Am I really liking the Apex series? Yeah, so far so good. I think I'll